Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are gonna be continuing the narration and character voice acting for the Masses Travel story. Alright, quick note and warning here before we begin with today's episode. There will be some massive spoilers for the main story of Arknights, episode 15. I'm not joking, I am not memeing. There will be certain things that are gonna be mentioned. They're gonna be vague, but there's still gonna be mentions of events from the main story, and there will also be some characters from the main story. So, for those of you who are still not caught up with the main story, apologies that I'm saying this here right now, but I would highly recommend to catch up with episode 15 and finishing it before continuing here. I did say in part 1 that this story is definitely taking place after the events of the episode 15 of the main story, but I wasn't sure as to how much this one is gonna be referencing anything, but with this part today I am sure they're gonna be probably referencing even more in the next part after this, where we're gonna be finishing off the story with, yeah, there's already some pretty big spoilers in today's part. Again, it's up to the observer, up to the individual person rather, how much you think it's a spoiler or not, but there will be some pretty both vague and direct mentions of certain parts of episode 15. So yeah, my personal recommendation, or rather a recommendation in general, would be going forward right now to actually catch up with the main story, because we are now in Act 3 with this current episode that came out, aka episode 15, and probably just like in the past when episode 9 came out and Act 2 started of the main story, some stories, or pretty much probably all stories that are going to be coming out in the future, are more than likely going to be taking part either around the main story or after the events of Act 3. Now, how far advanced they're going to be, obviously I don't know that until we get there, yeah, I would highly recommend catching up with the main story, just to be on the safe side, and also it's a cool story. It's a pretty cool part. But yeah, apologies again once more that I didn't know how many spoilers there are gonna be in this story. I don't, like I said in part 1, I don't watch trailers for anything when it comes out. I just want to have a nice clean experience with reading through the story, so sometimes I can kinda guess and tell, but in this case I just didn't know. I just simply didn't know how many spoilers there are gonna be. I only knew this is taking place after the events of whatever happened in episode 15, especially because of that tiny little tease at the end of episode 15 with the Sankta. But yeah, here we are. Again, apologies, didn't know. But yeah, there's gonna be spoilers, so do catch up. Even if you just want to continue watching this part today, I would still highly recommend just going forward to catch up with the main story. It will be pretty much for the better. It will pretty much be for the better, especially with who knows what the hell is going to be coming up in the future. But yeah, anyway, that is that, and this is this. So, part 3. We're gonna be making quite some progress today, and like I said in the previous part, I will be also including a cutscene that is not part of this story, just to flesh out a bit of a backstory for Arturia. Like I said in the previous part, I will be including Arturia's operator record, which canonically takes place after the events on, or rather off, Zwillingsturme, the LEITHANIEN slash the LEITHANIEN slash Laterano story, pardon, and yeah. It carries quite the significance, and I am still baffled that little story was just an operator record and was not a cutscene that was not anywhere else. It's kinda a very important operator record for multiple reasons. But yeah, I will leave it to you guys to see in a bit. But before we get to that, we have our recap to do. So for those of you who want to skip the recap and hop directly to the operator record and the rest of the story, as always, the timestamps are down below in the comment section, and you will be there immediately. But anyway, so last time we began with Hypergriff remembering that they had characters that they haven't used in a while, aka Yif. So good stuff, and now please don't forget about him again. Please? But anyway, back in present time Laterano, Anduin seems to be getting visitors, as in his old group seems to want to get his butt out of there, but they are stopped by the security in the nursery. Federico, meanwhile, is on a regular visit to Landen Monastery to see Arturia, but finds out that she has left. Hildegard offers to help with the search, and Federico lets her accompany him. Over at the Shrine of Nurtury, Excusii and Vanini are pondering how to enter the building, and Exia has a plan to blend in with the other people going in. Lemon is still investigating the recent bombings and has come to the Nurtury for that purpose. She offers her help to the matriarch but gets refused, and while she is on her way out talking to Velif, Lemon spots a familiar shadow in the crowd of people entering. Following the shadow, Lemoine finds her sister Lemuel and corners her. While initially Lemoine wanted to make her dismantle her bombs, Lemuel manages to trick her way out of there, leaving Lemoine with that task. Outside the shrine, Vanini is trying to set off a bomb to distract the guards, but gets found out by Patricion. Luckily for her, Paganini comes to cover for her, and the two of them leave after Paganini takes the blame for it. Federico and Hildegard have meanwhile tracked down Arturia, and Hildegard goes over a bit of history of how the Liberi started to follow the Sankta in the distant past. Anduin, on the other hand, has ventured out to request a funeral in advance for the mother that is giving birth in the nursery. It is more of a better be prepared than not sort of deal with that. However, he does get cornered by his old followers once more, but this time Fiammetta and Mostima bail him out. Back with Federico and Arturia, they get suddenly surrounded by Richel and his colleagues. Federico, however, knocks out Richel and the others to save Arturia because he deems that her information has more value at the moment, since she seems to have gathered more on what is currently wrong with Laterano. In the Shrine of Nativity, the ceremony has begun. A huge mass of people is present, Mostima and Fiammetta are in attendance, and Exia is trying to place her bombs but gets interrupted by Patricion. At the end of the day, the pregnant woman in the shrine gives birth, but it wasn't the circus woman as everyone thought. Anduin brings the newborn child to the matriarch, and everyone sees it's a arbor beast baby. However, it is weak and seems to be dying in her arms, but just then, as everyone unites in prayer for it, it gets a second start and comes back with a halo over its head. The matriarch then announces that from today onwards Laterano will share its halo with everyone, but not just Sankta. On the outside, Federico and Arturia finally see the real picture as reality and dream start to mix and overlap. The calamity is here. We then hop a bit between places, seeing Ermengarde in Kasdal find and help Cecilia at Ezel, Evica Gnade and Michael in LEITHANIEN discuss the current happenings, and Aurela and Nuera are coming back to Laterano with their group. Back in Laterano then, Arturia and Federico have started to search for the Pope, who is missing in all of this, but first they have to face some very strange creatures that are all sporting halos over their heads. And that is pretty much where we left off last time. So then, like I said at the beginning of this part, we're gonna be first hopping into a operator record for Arturia before we begin, but in today's part, just to give you guys a tease, we're gonna be obviously covering from where we left off, which is the rest of stage 5, and we're gonna move all the way to the beginning cutscene of stage 8. But first we have an operator record, so let's see about that one. Alright then, Virtuosa aka Arturia operator record, titled Himmelszelt und Federwolke, or for the non-German speakers, it translates to Heavenly Tent and Feather Cloud. Doesn't mean too much, but the meaning will come across once we go through the story. It says, see what you see what I see. Let's begin. The wind rustles the branches in late autumn, the sound of a cello filling the forest matted by fallen leaves. Amia treks along to the cello's melodies. Her fist is loosely clenched, rings shimmering faintly beneath the sunlight filtering through the trees. A black-haired Sankta is standing in a clearing in the forest, embracing her cello, ever so focused. The sound of the cello continues to flow, uninterrupted by her arrival. a gentle sound. Amia stops, and her palms begin to loosen. Gradually, even the trees around her and the clouds above her begin to melt into the flowing stream, seemingly rippling through the sky, yet also around their feet.
Arturia, you shouldn't just wander from your room as you please. Besides, today there's a...
The Sankta woman lifts her gaze slightly. There is still a bit of distance separating the two of them, but Ami is sure that the woman has seen her. Amia does not move. Instead, the starlight and the waves reach out to embrace her. Across thousands of blurry scenes, countless figures intersect with her. She feels as if she has become a book, and the cello's melodies a pair of hands, flipping through the deepest pages of her emotions. Federico warned everyone to stay away from her music. But Amia is not of the same mind. She quietly takes a deep breath. This is something only she can do, to touch the face beneath the veil of mystery, to reach Arturia.
Amia, what are you looking at? Huh?
Amia turns when she hears the voice. At some point, a woman as pure as the moonlight approached, her eyes gentle as always. Amia sees herself reflected in the eyes of the woman before her. Sitting in the corner of the deck, with her arms tightly hugging her knees, bangs loosely covering her eyes.
Amia, you've been sitting on the deck all this time. What are you looking at? The sun is about to set. One of the nice men from engineering gave me a lolly. Teresa, are you done with work? Yes, I am. Are you thinking about your mom and dad? Dad used to carry me up to the roof of the work shed after he came back from his engineering work. It got pretty cold after the sun went down, but Dad's shoulders were really thick, so we could stay there for a long time. I remember these stars coming out one by one until they filled up the night sky. But now the doctor is with me. Dr. Kal'tsit is with me too, and so are you. Every now and then, it makes me miss Mom and Dad a bit less. The doctor said that in this last year of sailing the land, you were the motivating factor. It's very fortunate that the doctor saved you. I'm also glad that Rhodes Island was able to become your home. Perhaps death is not the most profound goodbye, but it is the most cruel, impossible to turn back. Yet you have faced it bravely. You may have to endure more goodbyes in the future, but remember, goodbye is not the end. You will feel, you will connect, you will live on, you will become the place where everything meets. You will become the future. Where do you plan to go next? I'm going back. Thank you so much. But I can't stay here any longer.
The memory of Teresa becomes blurry. The Lord of Fiends grants illusions unto others. The Lord of Fiends also passes down memories and arts, as well as emotions and knowledge. But Amia has never delved deeply into herself. Like a pair of mirrors, Amia throws open the transparent door. And on the other side of the door is a lawn. It has just rained, and a pleasant scent wafts through the air. A small church stands silent not too far away. All the guests have already left, leaving only a young Sankta standing in front of a tombstone. She stands there in silence, water droplets still clinging to her cheeks. She cannot tell if they are rain or tears.
So, Arturia, is death the theme of the song? You're suffering, but look, it took a long time and meeting a lot of people to not be so sad when I think about my parents. But you're not just sad, there's also confusion and anger? Directed at who? The guests who turned their backs and left? Or death itself?
Arturia does not truly see her. The young Sankta stands in the shadows of the past.
Mama, how much courage did it take for you to take that brave step? How could death pluck your life from you so quickly? Why does death turn human bodies into empty husks? Why is it so easy to make all those complex, profound emotions disappear without a trace? Why are we but wisps of clouds? So free, so beautiful, yet gone whenever the wind blows? It turns all of our effort to make up for past regrets into new regrets. And you shouldn't have... You didn't need to die. Cora, you didn't need to die. There were so many chances for you to leave before the Empress's celebration began. Arturia, you had so many chances to tell me your feelings. In Marigold Alley, at Ludwig's Universität, even at the theater in front of the spire. Did you not know how to express them, even though you know that I understand your music? I tried telling Viviana, hoping that she would discover your existence through the clues left in the Güldenes Gesetz. But even she, I don't want to change the decision that you made, nor can I. That's right. In fact, you know better than anyone that I passed on with no regrets. The one with regrets is you, isn't it? I'll always remember our first meeting, at Lea Manuel's funeral, beneath the sunset in front of the imperial spires. I helped tune your cello, and you told me about the people you had met and things you had experienced. I couldn't see your face clearly, but I could hear the stirring sound of your cello. You shared with me your regrets, as well as the faith those regrets brought you. You were the first person who encouraged me to play the melodies of my heart. You are one of the few close friends I've had on this long, long journey. I don't want to... But will my feelings, and all the things I've experienced, truly dissipate like flowing clouds? Arturia, my dear friend, play for me. Let me hear your music one more time. I've always believed that this is what they precisely meant.
The cello's melodies flow, and more scenes that she has never seen unfold in front of Arturia. Those images and sounds melt into a river, flowing towards reaches unknowable to man. Arturia wades through the river. She does not know when or how she reached the shore, but when she next opens her eyes, she finds herself standing in front of a door.
You've come a long way, haven't you? Is this a monastery? A monastery built on a nomadic plate. Looks a lot like Sancta Abrosi, doesn't it? It has roamed the lands with me for many years, but now it's been still for 2.5 months. Is it worn down? No, it's because I've been sick. I've been waiting for death to come. No need to keep looking. I'm the only one here, and no one else is coming. We're a long way from Laterano, so far that even the legati who crossed countless lands for the Lateran Declaration have never threat. I know what you're here for, Arturia. The reason an ideal can be an ideal is that it is sufficiently out of reach. I've been to so many different places. I've approached cities, entered barrens, ice fields, and deserts all scattered with life. In every place I've been, the flames of war continue to burn. I have witnessed every forgotten end. Over the course of my long journey, I've never put down my cello. I've played for all kinds of people from all walks of life, but the end result has never been satisfactory. A strong soul, rationality without reservation, a pure and sincere openness. I strive to approach to that future, yet it is still so far away. But you will die here, in a distant corner, in a dilapidated monastery. Death will reduce everything to naught, leaving not a trace behind. Do you grip your cello to play your own requiem, with nothing but fear, helplessness, anger, and sorrow? Just as you used to be. The clouds are gathering outside the window again. What? We cannot hope to hold onto a single cloud, but is it not the entire sky we seek to depict? Great men must die, just as ordinary men must die. Those who walked with us through life will eventually part ways, and none may override death. Death will cut the threads of our lives and turn our bodies into hollow shells, incapable of harboring thoughts or feelings, incapable of forming new substance. But this does not mean the complex and profound emotions we once held will completely disappear. Precisely because death is insurmountable, I must play, and continue to play. This way, those dissipated feelings will continue to be felt, understood, and remembered by all. Is that not its very purpose? Arturia, have you considered that what you just saw might actually be your future? I'm glad I'm finally getting closer to it.
The sound of strings continues to reverberate through the woods. The Sankta slowly places her cello into its case as the Cultist girl watches her movements in silence, waiting for her to make eye contact.
Amia? Sorry for getting you wrapped up in my melody. Arturia, we haven't had a chance for formal introduction since you came to Rhodes Island. I believe today's occasion makes for a perfect icebreaker, better than any deliberate arrangement. Your powers are strange. You don't even need an instrument. It's like two mirrors. Simple, yes, but through them you can see countless selves. You and Rhodes Island are a lot more interesting than I thought. I can say the same thing about your music. Even in such a short period of time, it feels like we've gotten to know each other quite well. Do you feel those emotions often? Do you understand how I think? But in the end, we're still rather different. Such a shame. But we'll have plenty of time to spend together. Now then, please hurry back with me. There's no need to rush. I'm not trying to get away. The fact is, you've been away from the landship for a long time. And it just so happens that there is a distinguished Lateran guest who wants to see you. We've been looking all over for you. I see. My apologies then. Amia, after we get back to the ship, do you think I could invite you to my concert? You could be more than just an audience. Sure. We welcome all who have goodwill towards Rhodes Island. Do you see me as one such person? No, your thoughts go beyond good and evil. That I'm well aware of. But let me be clear on that one point.
Nobody would mention any of the events that just transpired. After a piece, there is always some tacit understanding among the performers and among the audience.
I quite like the view here. Too bad I won't be able to stay any longer. Let's go. A distinguished guest indeed. Looks like Ami is more capable than I gave her credit for. It is an honor, Holy Father.
To the infected children who just ran by, I was nothing more than the grandpa with the Lateran candy. No Holy Father here, just a grandpa.
As you wish.
Arturia Giallo, I believe this is the first time we've met. But you don't seem surprised. I get the sense that your trip to LEITHANIEN has brought you a wealth of experience and broadened your horizons.
If it had something to do with me, and had to be personally arranged by the leader of Rhodes Island, I figured it was probably a very important person. Though I expected a meeting like this would take place in the Basilica's Hall of Pontifical Audiences, where the Holy Father would hand down his sentence to a dangerous repeat blasphemer.
It's true that the Notarial Hall has logged far too many anomalous incidents that involve you. When Federico brought you back to Laterano, the Curia immediately organized the 1st, 5th, 6th, and 7th tribunals to conduct a joint trial. All according to the law, of course.
The law.
So, before that happens, we should meet at least once, and Rhodes Island is the only place where that could happen. Arturia, daughter of sin. For the time being, you can think of this dormitory as a makeshift confessional. What we say here will not be recorded, and will not be acknowledged hereafter.
I've had an awakening.
Without ritual or witnesses. But that's fine. You were no hero to begin with. On behalf of Laterano, I pronounce you, Arturia Giallo, our next chosen saint.
I get the feeling you don't do this willingly.
What makes you say that? Though it doesn't really matter. There will always be some meaning behind the law's choices.
Federico was the one who brought you to Rhodes Island, right? Funny, I wonder how you explain to our darling saint that the fugitive he had just apprehended was also chosen to be a saint? Or maybe,
You're right. Federico doesn't know yet. But he will understand. I will ask that of him. After all, I am neither condoning nor forgiving the things you've done, my child.
I never cared for the law's forgiveness or this, title. It's all rather annoying, to be entirely honest. What else will the Curia be using me for?
Child, there is much you do not understand. Your experiences, behaviors, ideals, and even the paranoia reflected in your arts have all appeared countless times before. One particular interpretation by Sankta onto Sankta. How can you be so sure that your unique talents, your unique arts, are not deliberately manifestations of the law? After all, you carry a halo over your head. You are a Lateran Sankta, Arturia. The white walls of Laterano have stood for thousands of years, and you are not the only, alienus, as much as I loathe the word. Nevertheless, our glorious law has given me a decisive answer.
And what does this vague answer mean, Your Holiness?
It means... The very light we know will one day be extinguished. And this is no exception. The old Pope playfully points to the halo hovering above his head. Arturia is lost in thought.
Even if everything about the Sankta existence is interpreted as its boon?
The Pope does not answer, simply moving abruptly to his next question. What will you be?
What?
Take away your prejudice, your pride, and your sins. And what will be left of you? What would you do? What would you bring? Answer me this.
I'm still searching, Holy Father. There's no point in lying to you, but you say that our halos will fade, and that the Sankta will lose the cozy cabin of their faith? Wouldn't that just make Laterano the same as any other place? My ideal understanding, my ideal emotion, the kind of unreserved, pure, and honest communication that I seek, has nothing to do with what you just said. Not even a little bit. And yet, why does the law insist on choosing me as a so-called saint?
All I can say is, you're right. You gave me a much more reasonable answer than I expected. It would appear that what transpired in LEITHANIEN was much more extreme than what was officially documented in our intel.
And, what if I refuse to become a saint? Or is this the atonement that you've arranged for me, and I don't have the right to refuse?
Child, the choice is still yours to make. I am simply conveying the warning I've received to a fellow citizen of Laterano.
You, who stands atop all the operae, would turn to a sinner?
But, as you know, the Pope has ways of cleverly manipulating the words of a revelation, for example by changing the name of the saint. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to threaten you. Federico will see the case through regardless.
If you really think that, then why?
But when the sun sets, your thoughts and beliefs may prove to be a potent medicine. The saint is a sign that the Sankta are in peril. All I can do is tinker around the edges. Furthermore, the tragedy that you caused was also your own tragedy. Sankta, Laterano, faith, empathy, communication, and our society. These things comprise your story. They comprise you. Is there any pope who would turn a blind eye to all this? So, after deep reflection, I decided to personally see you to the end, young saint, until your duty is done. I will lead you all to the future you deserve.
What is that end?
No, prophecy isn't part of the job. Having that said, going off of recent developments, the future you deserve is far from bright.
It seems like this decision has been a heavy burden on your shoulders.
The situation might just be bad enough to necessitate the gamble. How does that sound to you, Arturia?
Well, Would you consider becoming an audience for a saint?
I'm not particularly well versed in music, but actually, wait a minute. I've been studying for too long. Why don't we head to Rhodes Island's cozy reception area for a bit?
You can listen while we walk.
Fine. Hop. Please begin then. I'd like to hear something distinctly Lateran. Through the window, the daylight's tail end stubbornly leaves its outline in the sky, the dusk shimmering brilliantly. For no particular reason, she thinks of the sunsets in Zwillingsturm and the clouds above many cities she has seen. The sky is getting dark, and a slight shaking comes from underfoot, indicating that the landship is about to sail into the night. The bridge lights come on.
Now then.
A melody begins to flow. Alright, and that was the operator record for Arturia, aka Virtuosa. And I think you guys can see now why I deemed that one pretty important. Again, such a important happening was pretty much put into an operator record that probably most people will never see, because I do know that most people don't read those. Trust me, I do know. I do go through them when I have to record them for the uploads onto my channel, but yeah, there's a lot of them, and I do understand that most people are not going to engage with them. But I still find it very surprising that they put something as important as Virtuosa, aka Arturia, being pronounced as Saint, being left for the operator record and nothing else, like her meeting with the Pope essentially on Rhodes Island, which also puts the story pretty much after the events of See You Soon, as we know from that story that is the story that teases the first communication between Amia and the Pope. And from there we get to the operator record, I'm guessing, right after that. But yeah, it's a very important one. Very important in it as well is actually Amia and Arturia comparing their powers of being able to dive into a person's mind through different means. Amia through the crown and Virtuosa through her music, essentially. They're both kind of diving into the emotions of people. I also do love that Amia pronounces her being kind of like beyond good and evil. You know, pun intended there. But yeah, very interesting how that comparison also went down. And yeah, it has merit. They do have kind of like a very same approach. They both can use their powers to actually not just dive into a person's feelings and mind to some degree. Amia's power is probably much more elaborate than Virtuosa's, aka Arturia's, but it's there. It's very similar to a certain degree. But it's also a very interesting operator record, as in it shows a bit more about how Arturia thinks about death and what it means to her. So it's a good operator record. And again, it's one of those stories that is kind of super important for the whole character development kind of thing, right? And it's surprising that it was put into an operator record and not tied into any of the stories. Not even tied into like a small epilogue in Zwillingsturm, where it would have pretty well set in. But anyway, now you guys have seen it, and we can continue with the story. Continuing from the second part on stage 5, once more titled Communion, it says, "May our halos be shared, may our Lord share the blessings with all." And we will continue with the after part.
Such a sound. Do not fear, child.
Matriarch. You do, Nurturer. Thank you for your work.
I simply did what I could. The child is still weak. Take him back to his mother, Anduin. I will come and find you.
You seem unwell, matriarch. Should I escort you to your apartments?
I am fine. The heartbeat continues to echo within me. Not just the mother. I can hear countless hearts resonating, so powerful it seems they could bring down the shrine. The people have begun to link with one another, irrespective of race or background, but some have rejected the future we revealed. The nativity has come to an end. Our kindred need not stay here. We should prepare for the next stage.
Understood. You should retire. I will take care of the rest. Once again, welcome to the Shrine of Nurturing. Better you understood the matriarch's proposal at the summit, and regardless of what you think of it, the birth and enlightenment of this arbor beast is undoubtedly a clear revelation. On how to remove the barriers between nations and races, on how to resolve the hatred and build lasting peace, facing the calamity that hangs over our heads together. Beginning with the Nativity, the Second Summit of Nations now enters a new stage. Laterano will share our halo with all races. May our Lord share the blessings with all.
Yamela! Asima! Over here! Lemuel? When did you come back? Why didn't you tell us? Nice outfit, huh? Including those handcuffs. I wanted to surprise you. Well,
Excusia scratches her head.
What happened, Lemuel? It's a long story. I could buy you 2 minutes if you want to make a break for it. Sure! On second thought, maybe next time. I've caused enough trouble for my sister already. Did I interrupt the reunion? Well, if... Can you take the suspect to the 7th Tribunal on your own, Cardinal Lemuel? Or do you need support? After all, attempting sabotage of the Shrine of Nurturing and Summit of Nations is a serious charge. If you're concerned, you're free to come with us, or have a gun knight keep watch. Don't talk like that. After all, according to your Conclave's Cardinal Aide Amos's testimony, you picked up Lemuel's trail at another scene beforehand. Are you saying that I tried to cover for my sister? Well, not exactly. All the evidence is circumstantial, and there is nothing that proves you did anything wrong. Do you recall our previous conversation in the shrine? I admire your ability and resolve greatly, Lemuel the Silent, but I also know when these virtues of yours are most prominently displayed. Besides, it's natural for us to be cautious when your sister is involved. I hope you understand. No need to worry. Letting Elle run around with all these charges against her won't help her. Of course, I'm sure the misunderstanding can be resolved, as long as Lemuel cooperates. One moment, Shimmering Vigil and Legatus Mostima. What? Please remain here at the Shrine of Nurturing. The Curia has a mission for you. They, took Elle away? After all the effort it took for a Magister to get me off the hook. Come on, Bonnie. Isn't there anything else you can do? Don't bother knocking, Anduin. I have nothing to hide from you. The mother?
Sleeping. I brought a child. His feathers are not yet grown in, but he is surprisingly lively. I thought perhaps you might want to pet him again.
Thank you. It is comforting to me.
This place...
Do you remember? We built it to house the mother when we came to Laterano. It became the first nursery of the shrine.
I remember. We made a simple yet warm bed together and hung the comfort bells that gave her restful sleep.
The room is no longer in use, but I come back from time to time, if only for prayer. This was our starting point, yours and mine.
The arbor beast stretches happily.
I sense that he likes this place too. His halo is so bright. I noticed it the moment you brought him here.
It is the miracle that you have long believed in. But I don't understand what brought on the premonitions of the miracle when you first encountered the mother.
I had no premonition, Anduin. I only saw your struggling heart. She was on her last legs, and what she needed was not healing, but her last rites. Yet you wanted to save her, and you would not allow the idea to be dispelled by common sense. I believe that this thought, which you protected so dearly, could create the miracle of life. Life is a wonderful thing, one that can never be measured by the confines of common sense.
Anyone would want to save her, matriarch.
Therefore, anyone can create miracles. Miracles are so because people do not believe in the power of faith. Is it the halo that gives Sankta faith, or faith that gives Sankta the halo? Have you ever pondered it? Our law, empathy, and firearms, and the paradise that we build atop them, did they all arise from a blessing without a cause, as common sense would indicate?
I don't know.
The past has its beginnings, as does the future. The Shrine of Nurtury, this towering edifice, was not built in a day. It began as a simple, ordinary nursery.
Our nursery.
Did we start with the blueprints of such an imposing shrine? No, we merely wished for a safe, comfortable room for that mother. And yet, its frenzied evolution led to what it is now. That is how a future where all are saved can sprout from our faith.
Matriarch, I followed you because I had long searched for such a future, and you happened to know the way. But I never thought, nor could I comprehend, why you believed it could begin with me. What I'm able to do is ultimately insignificant.
Insignificant trifles and grandiose feats are but a hair's breadth from one another. You have labored for many years over this grueling journey of yours. You should not let such a meaningless difference stay your steps. I will need you to lift your spirits, for aside from caring for this mother and child, there are more deeds that must be done, such as the next nativity.
You're early. I'm already packed. You can just stick these seals on top so I can go back to bed. Patrizion? Huh. I thought you were him. I was told the last part of the handover would be handled by the Notarial Hall. Why did they send gun knights?
That was assuming nothing had been tampered with.
What are you talking about?
Both the storage room and equipment show signs of recent use. Colonel Amos must have made it clear when he last came here. All gunsmithing operations were to cease immediately upon signing the papers. Any unauthorized work on patron firearms or explosives would be a violation of law.
I've had this little workshop for decades. I couldn't let it go so easily. I just wanted to hear these old boys move again one last time, and shed some tears over it. Is that so wrong?
You've already said as much. Your apprentice Vanini, the one you took with you from the Shrine of Nurtury, where is she?
Must have gone back to watch the nativity. She's not a kid anymore. Besides, I don't see so well. Can't keep an eye on her all the time.
In that case, let us continue this conversation somewhere else.
But if I don't want to?
I didn't wish to resort to force unless absolutely necessary. It was Patrician who sent you here, wasn't it? Come with me.
Sister Hildegard, Reverend Arknight?
Is she not in the monastery?
Yes, but she just had an accident. She's resting now.
What?
It's hard to explain. A mobile confessional suddenly showed up at the monastery yesterday. Sister Hildegard was lying inside, unconscious. There was no one else. Someone had set the confessional's navigation system to bring her here. We're not sure what happened to her. Perhaps we can have her report to you once she wakes up.
This is urgent. Bring me to her.
But, It's alright, Sister Geraint. Hildegard, you're awake? The porridge? I'm fine. Just a little dizzy. I ate the porridge on the table. I'm coughing because some of it went down the wrong pipe. Reverend Arknight, you came for Arturia, didn't you? Yes, it's true that Arturia left Land Monastery without permission. But I went after her as soon as I found out, and I caught her, but something unexpected happened. Please give Land Monastery a little more time. No, give me a little more time.
We would like you to come with us, Sister Hildegard.
Well, alright.
It would be best if you came too, sister.
Me? Sister Geraint doesn't have anything to do with this. I was the one in charge of supervising Arturia. This is my fault.
No need to worry, Sister Hildegard. With a major incident like this, the Curia needs as much information as we can get. Now, follow me, please.
So then, they are rounding up people that are not Sankta and are, well, they're giving you the halo if you want it or not. that is apparently what is happening. But also on the other hand, I do love the little scene between Lemuel escorting Exia in her custody, running into Fiammetta and Mostima, and the four of them just having still, even during all of that, having a casual conversation between each other, and Mostima just being like, "You want me to stop time so you can bail? Sure." Those four, but still very, very funny little scene. But anyway, yeah, people are being rounded up and they're being brought to the nursery, and you will get a halo if you want it or not, as it looks like. Anyhow, that was a very short scene, so let's move on to stage number 6, titled Confess. Those deep in dream return to reality, while errant angels return to their homeland. Let's begin. It is the greatest graduation ceremony in the history of St. Theodore's Comprehensive School. No, the greatest ever held in the entire history of Lateran education. 17 giant fireworks burst up into the air as the 17-year-old red-haired Sankta strums her strings wildly, opening her solo concert. The sound echoes through the campus, rattling the windows of nearby school buildings. The pews near the stage, statues and pool, apple pies of all kinds lie everywhere as gifts for her audience. But the entire square is empty, as the red-haired Sankta plays her guitar and sings, with no teachers or students to cheer her on. It is no rare sight to see a student planning her own graduation ceremony in Laterano, but she is not even at the age to do so. She fails to get her permission to graduate early, even if she has already completed her preparatory courses for university. But what a sin to complete them without a ceremonial flair. Students open their classroom windows and watch from afar as the red-haired Sankta strums and sings without a care until her final number. Then they witness an unforgettable sight. The red-haired Sankta plays her last notes, bows, and thanks the air. The school gates then burst open, as more than 100 automated confessionals flood into the campus. Where the audience should have been are now confessionals with their doors open, all their mobile electronic confessors joining the red-haired Sankta's performance with their volume set to maximum. Neither Laterano's largest choir nor its noisiest heavy metal band could rouse such a racket. Finally, the Pontifical chorus rushed to restore order on campus, as they persuade the confessionals to return to their roots. However, the instigator has long vanished from the scene, leaving only a single banner unfolding as the last firework goes off. Let's send Lemuel off on her next adventure with a bang. Lemuel stops over at the Lateran port.
Huh, so there is a saint statue here too. Weird how I never noticed before. They're actually pretty nice to look at.
This is her first time leaving Laterano for a place without halos, in her search for people and answers. She suddenly thinks, for no particular reason, of how she might not return for a long, long time.
Didn't think they actually let you interrogate me, sis. Only because the previous 7 cardinals got nothing out of you. Come, El, help me open this. Why is this thing wrapped so tight? Wow, a Milfouillet fruit tart? The 7 Tribunal is sure nice to suspects. Come on, I made it myself. There's also this. Take it. What's that now? Your diploma. After I awakened, the head of St. Theodore's, who was also mentoring me at the time, came to see me and asked me to keep it for you. Your application to graduate was rejected, but that ceremony you put together did indeed prove your skills. After all, how could you get that many confessionals to perform with you if you weren't really familiar with their programming and the intercity net's defense patterns? So the school consulted the Curia and granted you a diploma in the end. Congratulations, Al. Even if it's a few years late. Thanks, sis. I'm sure my letters found their way to you. Yeah. You know, I made a bet with Mama and Tata. They said you'd major in intercity net security and become an expert in the notarial hall. But I thought you'd never waste your creative mind like that. I was sure you'd major in faith assistive engineering and design a new mobile confessional that shocked the city. In the end, you left Laterano, just like that. Let me be clear, sis. I don't regret it one bit. You know I'm not the type, and I'm even less the type to let anyone hold any regrets for me. Which is why you rushed all your preparatory courses and threw that wild graduation ceremony, right? I peppered Mostima with questions about you. Your work in Lungmen, your boss, your co-workers. I know you went to SIRACUSA, to Sargon, and many more places besides. You deal with all sorts of people every day. Gangs, cops, familia, Lords Amir. You're always on the move. Why does my life sound so different after going through a Mostima filter? Well, I did live a nice life after leaving Laterano. Wasn't sad or anything. I mean, you were still bedridden then. Didn't know how you got hurt. If you'd ever wake up and Mostima refused to say a word. I had to know what the heck happened. You're my sister, you know? But that woman, bless her heart, kept avoiding me. I got a whole load of nothing from her. Don't blame Mostima. You know, sis, I've been through a lot these past few years. There's some stuff I would have never thought about if I stayed here. In Lungmen, Mostima was the only Sankta around, but she lost her empathy. Texa, Sora, Croissant, Bison, and the boss. At first I made friends with them the same way I did here. We're all besties now, but without empathy, I sometimes still can't help but worry about silly little things. I've been trying hard to overcome that, and every time I do, our ties become a little stronger. But here, things are different. Like right now, I don't even have to think anything to know you want to go somewhere else to give me a big proper hug. What kind of collective has empathy turned us into? Does it make us more or less sensitive to others? Does it make us so insensitive that it's easier to accept totally outrageous change? Does this have something to do with everything you've done since you came back? Laterano 6 is just like you were back then.
We gotta wake it up.
El, you need to give me more than that. There's Pontifica Chorus guardsmen right behind these doors, right? I heard them when I came into their room. Let me guess, are you going to say this is your last chance, or something like that? If you insist on refusing to explain why you disrupted the Summit of Nations, and reveal the forces backing you, the 7th Tribunal will have to hand you over to someone else. I don't know what kind of punishment you'll face, El. Laterano's leniency has never applied to those who violate the law, especially these days. Come on! Apple pie with mayonnaise! What?
What's going on? Was that an explosion downstairs? A terror attack? Aren't they interrogating the terrorist suspect upstairs right now? Who else would dare to attack the 7th Tribunal? Automated confessional, El Caro 001, in position. A mobile confessional? Fire! What's going on? Who let them in here? Did they not realize this one's malfunctioning? But that's just a mobile confessional, buddy. Who thought it'd be a good idea to put so many guns on a confessional? Alert! A mobile confessional is attacking us and attempting to rescue the suspect Lemuel. Calling all combat units, we need backup. I repeat.
Again. Now the left staircase. Blow it up and I can slow them down for a little longer. Do you read me, El? I'm here to save you. Bonnie? Sick idea! I never expected you to find out the secret of this confessional and use it to help me out. It's nothing. It took me so long to finally realize there is something unusual with its plate number. I noticed it when you stopped it before, but I didn't think too much. All confessionals start with LC for Laterano Automated Mobile Confessional, but this one starts with ELC.
She practically scanned the entire city, stopping confessionals one by one, until I noticed her. Alright, excusez-I. Pontifica Chorus reinforcements will be here soon, and the nurturing guards are also on the move. We need to get out now. Coming right up! The guards respond quickly, constructing an emergency passage upstairs, assembling to face the chaos. Excusiae breaks the door open as the confessional speeds up toward her, blocking bullets from the Pontifica chorus. She hops onto the vehicle and steadies herself as the confessional wobbles wildly from her landing. The Sancta's red hair flutters between the bullets and gun smoke.
Confessor, wait, you've been exposed, so we can go back to normal, right? Leader, savior, doctor, you're so awesome!
There's 6 guns on the front outer rack. There's 3 guns in here. Feel free to use them as you please. And do what you do best. Vanini switched out the bullets for non-lethal ones. As for whether they'll hurt your countrymen, I'll trust your aim.
Gotcha! Talk about perfect timing. The 7th Tribunal confiscated my guns.
The passages on both sides are hard to break through. We need a new escape route.
Then through the windows we go. The noisier the better. We draw attention and make it easier for Vani to slip out away. You won't fall apart, will you?
Hold on tight. I can't promise I won't fling you out. I'll take the wheel, you handle our tail.
Got it! The party's about to begin, so let's show them what a perfect pair can do!
You don't know how Excusiae managed to wield so many guns at once to suppress all the Pontifica Chorus guardsmen with a hail of bullets. You're also unsure if falling from a window this high will pose a problem back in reality. All you do is take her and zoom to the sky.
Divine Judgment! Rock and roll! Barrage! Apple... never mind, not the best place for that. Phew, I'm beat. Finally shook off the stragglers. That was tight. Since when did they react so fast? Sure enough, you took to the roof, Sal. Always the contrarian, ever since you were little. Sis? What's with the confessional? And that girl? Oh, just good friends of mine. You said all this law-breaking is about waking Laterano up. You were never the type to talk theory or explain something away with fancy rhetoric. By wake Laterano up, you mean to rouse everyone in the city awake? It's complicated. Look at me, Al. Yeah?
Separated by roof ridges, Lemon looks at her sister. The sun is unbearably bright, but she said look at me, so gently that Excusiae does not even blink before complying. For a long time, Lemon and Excusiae stand unspeaking. Silence links the two.
Go. You're letting me walk away? You were only just created a cardinal of the 7th Tribunal. If they find out you let a prime suspect go, you're as good as defrocked, aren't you? Remember when the gunsmith had me pick a serial number for my guardian gun? Of course I remember. You didn't even mull it over. You just went straight for the date Mama and Tata brought you home. I told myself then to protect you and them forever. Hey, sis, aren't you afraid they'll say you're covering for me? You don't get it, Al. When choosing whom or what to protect, trust comes first. The time we spent together, the empathy and understanding between us, that's why I trust my sister, why I trust that she's making the right call. So the way I see it, I'm not covering for you just because you're my sister. In fact, there's plenty other reasons for me to do this. Why don't you come with me, sis? No. Your doubts. I've been having them too. Maybe there are some things I can still do in my position.
I think it's this way. Yeah, we followed them all the way here. Weird. They just vanished. They're so fast. Do confessional engines have that power? There's too many forks here. Plus Lemuel split ways from the confessional. Contact the Notorio Hall and request executor support. Also, have them scan all mobile confessionals on the intercity net to see if they can find one designated ELC-001. Roger. Look, up ahead. Monster grinds their teeth and pedals fiercely.
Oh, finally managed to catch up to you after clearing out your escape route. I won't let the Laterans tear you apart.
Thanks for the hard work.
You know, I have to commend your sharp senses. You figured out Laterano was facing a calamity based on just a few Sankta operators' peculiar reports. It might have been too late had we waited any longer to make our move.
It's only been a few months since everything happened at Rhode Island. We have to be on guard for anything strange cropping up. Army is contacting our branch office operators. Closure is busy reconstructing the new plates. Our lead operators are making sure the land ship is secure. While you didn't take more than a few seconds to decide to come with me.
You're welcome. Though it used to always be Alright, Dr. Jacob, what's next? We were hiding for so long, but now our efforts have gone to waste.
We need to make sure Excusia can move unhindered. There's no longer any point in hiding our tracks.
True. The strange ritual's over, and people have already woken from the dream. I'm sure the machine is already reacting, and the Arturia and Arturia are speeding things up on their respective ends. Does it still want everyone to finish their dreams and complete its, experiment? I can't use any of my skills here, and their comms controls turned you into this. They've cut down your engine power too. You move pretty slow now.
I'm glad you're here, monster.
Well, I couldn't find anything else to drag you around with either, so,
She grits her teeth again.
Doctor! Open your door. There's a couple of donuts in there. I have to refill my energy.
She grinds her teeth again and runs wildly, brandishing her claws.
Are you holding on?
Kind of used to it. Fine. Just how you used to carry me around.
Now's not the time for jokes, Doctor. The Shrine of Nurture incubated these monsters with halos in their dream. But how did they get them to invade reality?
Look at the projections on the buildings. Notice the strange colors around us.
Wow, sharp eyes to notice all these little details while I'm dragging you at high speed. Glad you have excellent dynamic visual acuity. Oh, they're catching up. Alright, hold on tight. So, what strange stuff were you talking about anyway?
It's not the dream collapsing that's affecting reality. The dream is just a facade. It's already using reality itself.
So the chaos in Laterano wasn't caused by the machine going haywire. It's the opposite. It dragged everyone into this collective dream just so it could maximize its synchronization efficiency and output a pre-programmed result. Which it could do if it was running at full power. Doctor, we have to know...
What it ultimately wants Laterano to become? What exactly prompted it to make this decision? Monster, have you found the connection point yet?
I've tried various methods ever since we came to Laterano with our lead in hand and entered the dream, but the machine's operating logic is too unique. I need more time. We're already exposed in both dreamland and reality, Doctor. The city's rejecting us like a virus. So, our current priority is to stay alive.
Calamity is already here, you're certain. But there is no time to express any regret, as you and Monster rush through the illusion and reality, fleeing. No, looking for a lead on the trail of your fate. This trip to Laterano has been perilous, yet the bumpy ride somehow helps you shelve some of your concerns. Unconsciously, you have already entrusted your life to her. To Monster. Thank you, Monster.
What?
Is that?
I thought I was seeing things. Shall I go greet our mutual friend?
Keep moving, Arturia.
Are you not worried about the doctor?
I am worried. But it is not my top priority at the moment. It is the first time I have seen that woman who took the doctor away, but her appearance and combat style are familiar to me. With her, the doctor is not in imminent danger. Also, the doctor has drawn away many of the monsters and created an opportunity for us to escape. We should leave at once and locate the Pope.
Fede, I'll help you add what you just said into your mission report for Rhodes Island.
I will write it myself.
Seems we've come up empty-handed.
The room shows little sign of recent human activity. His usual household furniture, such as the rocking chair, coffee maker, and shooting target, are all covered with dust. The terminal shows no communication records or abnormal messages. There is no opportunity to produce any additional evidence for now. Preliminary deduction: Pope Evangelista XI has been missing for roughly 2 weeks.
I only met His Holiness once, and already mentally prepared myself, but to know something really has happened to him.
Arturia, explain. You seem to have a theory as to where His Holiness has gone. Flashback.
We meet again, Grandpa with the Lateran candy. The curious joint trial has already concluded, with your signature on the verdict. The condemned shouldn't be having a private meeting with the Pope, though.
So, what is your decision?
So straightforward. I imagined you'd say something like, I was just taking my post-dessert walk and accidentally bumped into you. As for whether I'm willing to become a so-called saint, I believe we had a thorough discussion on the topic when I was at Rhodes Island.
We certainly did. I'm quite fond of that landship myself. A pity our meeting was so short. I still remember that sunset when you performed a not-so-Lateran piece. I also remember you were hoping for me to provide more evidence.
Yes.
Do you still remember my words, child? That every light we know will one day be extinguished?
It's etched into my mind. It's an interesting expression, after all.
That day will soon come. Of course, it is just a hunch. The Pope points to his own halo. It's been sending me a lot of warnings lately, but refuses to respond to any of my questions.
What does that mean?
To put it another way, our glorious law is suddenly no longer interpretable.
I only know how to play the cello, Your Holiness.
Of course. Interpreting the Holy Scripture is the Pope's job. Trouble has popped up at work, and I have to figure out how to solve it somehow.
So, what do you need me to do?
Stay vigilant. I'm not sure what exactly will happen, so this is the only thing I can say. If the Holy City's lights do go out, then trust in your ideal understanding, your ideal emotion, the kind of unreserved, pure, and honest communication that you seek. An alienist like you will then perhaps become a panacea, or a poison, but regardless, you will turn things around.
It sounds as if I have no reason to refuse you. No, I'm not the only alienist Laterano has.
Indeed. I was just about to contact the other saints. No, I pray. We still have the time. So that is why you began suspecting your surroundings so early.
Not the whole reason, Fede. One's inner main theme may stay the same, but it's hard for me to miss those supplementary and missing segments, all blending together too seamlessly, Sister Hildegard is a good example. What concerns me more, though, is that the incident happened before His Holiness managed to find you.
The situation is too complicated. All of Laterano has fallen into an unfathomable calamity, on a scale near to what we experienced in the Witch King's pavilion. We require support.
Fortunately, I have my cello with me. Magister?
There is no answer. Vanini walks around the workshop but fails to find her master. She spots a bottle of eye drops on the workbench, uncapped.
Bonnie, about time. Huh? A gun knight came by earlier and took Paganini away. Before he left, the gun knight told me to tell you to hurry over to the Curia to assist their investigation. Vani, are you doing some sort of trouble? Either way, you'd better get to the Curia. The gun knight wasn't in the best of moods. Magister.
It must be because of her and Elle, but no matter, she thinks her master should not get caught up in this.
Wait, these are...
Some bullet casings are scattered on the workbench, as if they were casually left by a careless gunsmith. Vanini puts on her gloves and begins collecting them, as she usually does, but suddenly she feels as if she recognizes these casings, like they're old friends. The shells are smooth to the touch, even the etchings have been rubbed flat. How many times have they been handled? What kind of bullet casings will receive such care, and in whose hands? Vanini takes off her gloves. She touches a casing. The metal is still slightly warm. Flashback.
Back.
Deus meus, Lord Almighty! You scared the glasses off me. Are you finally going to say something? You are already 4, you know. Any Sankta your age should be speaking, with a bright halo over their head. Alright, I was hallucinating. You still can't talk. I would have left this rotten place long ago, if I hadn't picked you up by chance. Just thinking about having to live in the same city as the damn Patrizio makes me sick. How many hospitals and churches have we been to, huh? And still, no one has any idea if you were just born like this, or if your lord has a problem with you. It's been 3 years. You have no halo, and neither do I. So of course I have no clue what's going on in your head. Seems like I've gotten used to my little mute here. And even I myself am growing quieter day by day. Whatever. You haven't run off in the middle of the night, so just assume you like it here. That's enough from me. Considering how responsive you are, if you ever want to communicate with me, you'll have to figure out a way yourself. Vani, let go. Why the sudden hugging and crying and laughing? Did I flip a switch somewhere? You don't usually respond to anything I say. Are you trying to make up for all these years at once? Also, what's with the sudden light over your head? Those doctors and clerics treating you the best the past 3 years couldn't do a thing. But you picked a gun with that Lemuel kid, and now you're fine?
Well,
Still can't speak, huh? Don't you Sankta's proud halos from your first birth? Did your halo come out early because you got impatient?
Vanini grabs her master's hand and nods vigorously.
I'm no Sankta, so I don't get how you communicated with that kid through the Guardian gun, or how much it mattered to you. In any case, now I know you can understand me perfectly, and that's enough for me.
She grips her master's face feathers.
Okay, that hurt. That hurts.
If you're willing to listen, I can teach you a less violent way to communicate, Sit here and stay. Look at these bullet casings. Here, I'll teach you.
I am, since when am I able to talk? I shouldn't.
To little Manini, understanding and expression were a pair of rusty doors blocking her from communicating. She lived with the garrulous and eccentric Liberi for 3 years, unable to figure out when he was happy or angry, unable to express her own annoyance or adoration. She never thought a Sankta with both fiery hair and personality would blast a hole into her sealed of heart without the need for words. Later, her master pieced small bullet casings together and word by word taught her a whole new language. Even after she finally learned some simple phrases, they still used these shells to communicate. But today she no longer remembers when exactly she did finally manage to grasp the most complex of sentences, let alone how many times she nonchalantly tossed the shells left by her master into the trash. She dares not imagine his perplexed face as he rubbed the shells they used for more than a decade, wondering why the student no longer cherishes this special language from the depths of her memory. Through tearful eyes, she realizes once more what those casings mean. It's a warning.
No, Magister. Oh, Vani, I just remembered something that was bothering me. When the gun knight took Paganini away, it didn't look like they were heading for the Curia. I'd say they were going toward the Shrine of Nurtury.
Colonel Lemwen, forgive for my tardiness. I was just sorting out the gunsmith handover documents. There's just so much, why are you here?
Colonel Laterano, have a seat. Easy now. Just passing on the curious newest orders.
What kind of orders require your presence?
The Curia has decided to suspend all of Cardinal Lemwen's work, and you shall serve as an acting cardinal of the 7th Tribunal until her work review is complete.
But what?
You heard me. The 7th Tribunal was raided by unknown forces recently, and the suspect Lemuel, who attempted to disrupt the Summit of Nations, managed to escape during the chaos. Cardinal Lemuel made contact with the suspect, but released her without authorization. After further investigation, it was discovered she acted similarly during the Pagus Tivonis explosion and the attack on the Shrine of Nurtury. Cardinal Lemwen has engaged in severe violations of the 7th Tribunal's Code of Conduct, as well as the law.
But why me?
They wouldn't have captured the suspect without the crucial evidence you provided, and perhaps the nativity would have been sabotaged. Amos, you've spent more than a decade in the 7th Tribunal, correct?
2 more months, and it'll be exactly 14 years.
You're the oldest functionary here, and are familiar with the 7th Tribunal's business. Does that make you the most suitable candidate, It may have been an absence of opportunity rather than a personal lack of ability that has prevented you from playing a more important role. But be more confident in yourself, boy.
Boy. Reverend Patrician, I always felt you did not like me much. I still remember the first time Aurela and I went to visit you. It was not you, but Fiametta, who had just come home from school, who welcomed us.
I mean, I don't like you. Aurela was my best student, exceptionally talented in armored combat and firearms, but she had too much of a character and an extreme way of doing things. While you, on the opposite, were too weak. And yet these are your own choices. I'll just say this again. I wasn't home that day because my armor broke and needed fixing. Besides, if we're going to make it personal between us, you're the one who's holding a deeper grudge, right? I personally expelled Aurela from Laterano after all.
When it comes to that, I only blame myself. You're right, I'm too weak, and have nothing to my name. I couldn't help Aurela diffuse her anger, even though I was right there with her. And so she hurt the shackled Sarkas in the Abbey, and ultimately leveled her gun at her own people. And after she made that terrible mistake, I didn't even manage to see her one last time, Reverend Patricion. I really can't do anything.
Then think on what you can still do right now.
Now?
The Summit of Nations is still ongoing, and the Summit Tribunal has lots of business on hand. It will be temporarily created Cardinal, as the Curia has decided. Alright.
What?
Handshake review complete. You now have access to Cardinal privileges and permissions.
Wait, so fast? I still haven't...
Cardinal Amos, in the face of calamity, Laterano must strive for efficiency. So, there will be no welcome tea and cake for you.
With the gun knight gone, Amos pulls out a chair. He opens his terminal, and his privileges have indeed already been updated, as Patricion said. Everything happens so fast, he needs some time to adjust, and he suddenly realizes something. He taps on the file explorer. He scrolls all the way down, finally arriving at his target at the bottom. He opens the document, his finger pausing on a signature confirmation page. Aurela, I finally... Newly created Cardinal Amos sees a smile on his face reflected on the terminal screen. It is a little ridiculous, he thinks.
This is, it's Laterano. We're finally back. No, something's off. Those strangely colored shadows. Look at their shapes. They're projecting, the Shrine of Nurtury? What's going on? Has Laterano changed, or do we have brain damage? Watch out, behind you!
The enlightened creature is praying.
A creature with a halo? What? There's more and more of them. Wait, stay back. I don't need an extra halo on me. Nice shot. They don't dodge bullets. We should be fine. Why do you look so dazed? Let's clear a way out. What's wrong? You're, fallen? Our awakenings may have influenced others to wake up as well, but there are also more of those halo-sprouting creatures.
Those creatures drag the awakened into these strangely colored projections, and then vanish together. They did not even manage to retaliate, and the Sankta who shot at those creatures have fallen.
Fede, I'm afraid my joke from before was no joke at all. These things are, considered Sankta, and thus are people? How strange and chaotic their hearts sound. What should I listen for within the mess? What should I share with them? They can't feel our emotions either, and are anxious over it. They desperately want to share theirs, but I can only resort to brute force. Like an infant yet to grow a halo, no matter what they want to express, they can only cry and grab at their parents' sleeves. Yes, they are our people, just too immature.
Immature but powerful. The law grants an infant a halo when it speaks its first word, because language represents rationality's awakening. And rationality refers to a Sankta finally gaining the capacity to be conscientious of both their people and the law. Why would a law deem a pack of non-sentient creatures as Sankta and also compel them to use brute force to intervene in their people's fates? Anomalies only continue to multiply. Currently, the only individual we may cooperate with is the Doctor. Being present already, the Doctor must know something about the current situation. Arturia, are you certain the Doctor remembers the sound of your strings?
The Doctor was almost present at every of my few performances on Rhodes Island. A pity the Doctor was never my intended audience, but I ought to be glad the Doctor seemed to have been listening carefully every single time.
Only your first sentence contained actual information, Arturia.
Sure. Well then, Fede, I will guide the Doctor with my cello.
A sudden notification beep interrupts the two.
Here and now, of all times?
Federico checks his communicator.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Aurela, former citizen ID, LC00734558. A group of Ferrari Sankta and war refugees, currently north of the Lateran city, 3 kilometers out. Requesting permission to enter the city.
This was a fun stage. This was such a fun stage to voice through, I will not lie. At least the beginning of it was so fun to voice through. But all in order, yeah, there we go. There we see what is the actual connection, or rather who is behind the confessional El Caro 001, and it is the Doctor. Also, just to clarify, it was missed. The confessional isn't just piloted by the Doc. The confessional is the Doctor. In the dream version of Laterano, that is how the Doctor is being perceived. That's how the Doctor looks in the dream version of Laterano. In reality, as we also see, the Doc is still the Doc. But in the dream, the Doc is represented or seen as the confessional, which makes all of this so much more funnier if you really think back on the scenes so far. Number one, seeing here Exia pretty much riding shotgun on the confessional and shooting about and having fun. She's pretty much just holding on the Doc. She's pretty much just holding on the Doc, and the Doc is just running while holding Exia. That is absolutely hilarious. That is a scene I would have loved to see, like a reality and dream comparison. We do get a reality and dream comparison with Monster, which, by the way, Monster being here is absolutely hilarious as well. Where we in the Monster section we get to see that in the dream she is pretty much pulling the confessional with a tricycle, I guess, or something, or a bicycle, whatever that was, while in reality she's just dragging, she's ragdolling the dog through the streets. Oh, that is funny as hell. But yeah, there we got to see like how stuff probably looks in between the two versions, and it's crazy. It's crazy to think about how this whole thing is just working between the two sides. But yeah, also, yeah, very funny for those of you who want to imagine that part. Yes, Exia did sit on your lap, probably while in the confessional, if you really want to go there. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, to the more serious parts. Later on, we got a couple of very interesting things. One is with Vanini that part just kind of slightly breaks my heart, because yeah, Vanini's reality is that she still cannot properly talk. She can still not properly talk through normal words and conversations. her dream reality essentially is where she can converse with people. And, oh, that's gonna be sad. That's gonna be a sad wake-up call when the dream collapses, probably by the end of this story. Again, I don't know how this story is gonna end, but I can only imagine this is gonna be a really sad feedback loop for her. Hopefully not. Hopefully some of the dream stuff actually retains itself, but I mean, they did say that she can form a couple of very basic sentences at this point in her life, but her main means of communication is with whatever they are doing with the like empty shells for bullets. I hope by the end of the story she can still at least somehow retain some wording. But also very funny, her halo appeared after she made contact with Exia, which is very wholesome, honestly. But yeah, anyway, at the end we also see a quick little peek at Amos being promoted now to the position of Cardinal very quickly. And Aurela and Nuera are apparently very, very close now, which might pose problems. Plus we also see that, yeah, every creature that gets a halo now is being seen as a Sankta, and if another Sankta hurts or shoots them, they immediately fall. No exceptions, no questions asked. So this is a conundrum. This is a conundrum for the Sankta. But anyway, before we move on to stage number 7, we have a new enemy here, which is simply called Claws of the Sankta. Haloed terrestrial creature that the law has determined to be Sankta. Empathy has taught these mute creatures the existence of faith, but they do not yet understand it, and often stand still on the street like a statue. This is a very interesting sentence, by the way. You gotta imagine that these creatures, these birds essentially, and other creatures that are getting a halo, how are they perceiving stuff around them now that they can feel emotions of another creature, right? I mean, a person-to-person thing is one thing, but a creature that is, you know, reliant on other forms of communication between its own kind, suddenly being able to communicate with another creature on a different level is probably just stun locking a lot of them. Anyway, we move on to stage 7, titled Funeral. All walk toward the inevitable end. That is why the continuity of meaning is so precious. This is the place. Enjoy some rest.
I thought I was going to the Notarial Hall or the Basilica to be questioned about Arturia's escape.
The gun knight who brought you here has other business to attend to. He asked me to tell you not to worry about the Arturia case. Long has Landed Monastery served the Holy City dutifully. There will be no excessive penalty just because a single prisoner escaped.
Oh, that's good to hear.
It was for another reason that you were brought here.
There are so many...
Would you prefer a quieter location?
No, what I mean is, why is everyone in this nursery liberi?
Hildegard scans around the room and sees liberi in all sorts of outfits, sitting or standing. There is little conversation, only the steady ring of the comfort bells. Hundreds, thousands, too many to count. An entire city's worth of liberi seems to be assembled here. Since when did this nursery become so large? No, more importantly, why are all these liberi here?
Don't tell me you have a room full of perros, a room full of felines, a room full of lupos?
An astute observation. We also have rooms for fallen angels and sarkas.
You're, awfully forthcoming.
The Shrine of Nurtury has nothing to hide. At the conclusion of the Nativity, the Curia announced that the Sancta will share the halo with all races. The simplest method is to do it race by race.
Do you mean we can have halos too?
We can feel each other the way Sanctas do? As you felt the Arbor Beast's heartbeat at the Nativity.
Why?
Why what?
Why do we need halos?
So, you brought me here not because of Vanini, but because I'm Liberi?
Yes.
I'll get a big old light over my head like yours.
Go on in, Peg.
Sounds like I don't have a choice. And it also sounds like a wonderful thing, doesn't it?
At least it'll be good for your eyes.
More than that, I think! If I had a halo, I'd be able to tell what that metal heart of yours was feeling when you kicked Gia out of Laterano.
I know you blame me for that.
Glad to know that you know.
Maybe things would have gone better for you if that hadn't happened. Over centuries of Lateran history, many have tried to recreate the terrifying high-caliber revolving antique gun that the ancient domes described. Only you succeeded. The design, which assumed the user could withstand a recoil 5 times that of an ordinary gun, was the work of a genius. Or a madman.
Oh, are you bragging about being born to be a gun knight? After all, you successfully tested my design before even putting on a suit of armor.
I just thought we were born to be partners. You and I and Gia were always the best of friends, from primary school through university. But my first official mission, as a gun knight, was to exile Gia from Laterano. After that, you gave up gunsmithing for the Apostolic Knights, opened a workshop somewhere I didn't know about, and now,
I decided to retire, alright? You and your Wappa shrine of gunsmithing. What use did you Sankta have for me? If you treat gunsmithing like making potato chips. It's a crime to be a non-Sankta, is it? Gia got exiled, I get to have a halo put on me. The Liberi aren't allowed to live in Laterano the way we are now, are we?
you think that Gia had nothing to do with being Liberi? Even if she was Sankta, Lateran wouldn't allow someone with oripathy.
You don't know shit! Lateran order and Lateran purity again? How many times do you think I've heard that garbage from you? Do you really believe in yourself? Somnias Dormis, how could you if you thought even once about how Gia died out there alone? I admit, I did believe in it, Patricion, until that day. We got hangovers together, played with guns together, cried and laughed together. No one in Laterano could clink glasses like we could. But when I saw Gia disappear into the wilderness, and you just turned around and went back to Laterano the way you did, that was when I realized we never actually shared a damn thing. The halo is not a bad thing, Sister Hildegard. It's Laterano's blessing on us.
I know.
From the earliest nomads who followed the burden beast, the Liberi had always learned from the Sankta, from their ways of living to their ways of thinking. The Liberi long for a better life, and they long to be part of the Holy City. We understand that.
I know. I told that history to Arturia not so long ago.
But there is only one thing the Liberi can never learn from the Sankta, the halo. That is why certain conflicts between the Sankta and other races living in Laterano have lingered to this day. Unable to take part in Sankta empathy, you are troubled by doubts about your faith. You suspect Laterano of being indifferent, of alienation. To help with Landen Monastery's finances, you were away from Laterano for a long time, Sister Hildegard. That is why you may not have sufficient understanding of the situation. You can ask your fellow Liberi.
I know. I know how many outsiders who live here envy your empathy.
This is why we will now share it with everyone. There will be no more misunderstanding or differences. we will truly understand one another and eliminate the conflicts and barriers between us. The Liberi will become a truly inseparable part of Laterano.
I just feel sad.
What?
I grew up in this city. I know where one can find the best desserts, which alleys have cloud beasts that have a special taste for pumpkins, which buildings have rooftops perfect for stargazing. At London Monastery, I made beer and bread with the Sankta sisters, traveled to other countries to solicit sponsors, and I got completely plastered whenever we came back. I took pictures of how their wings went through the backs of their chairs when sleeping, and they played lullabies in the chapel when I sneaked out, so that the abbot would sleep a little longer.
I remember that. Actually, the abbot knew, he just didn't want to scold you.
I'm a Lateran. I like this place. I love it very much. You're right that I often find myself on the outside looking in. I don't know why these Sanktas who had been crying a moment ago start laughing and singing at their cohort's funerals. But, my father was a hunter. Every winter, he would go into the mountains with his friends to hunt. He told me that even hunters who have hunted together for decades can have different ideas when they see the same quarry. They sometimes even fight over it. Everyone is different. That has nothing to do with whether or not we have a halo. But you tell me I won't truly become a Lateran until I have a halo. Do you mean to say that I wasn't a true Lateran for the past 20 years? Has my entire life been a poor imitation?
It has, Sister Hildegard, but you should not see that as a rejection of you or any other Liberi. It is simply a necessity for the acceptance of Laterano.
I don't care about rejection or acceptance. I just don't think there's anything wrong with my life. And I don't see a reason why I have to accept this so-called blessing.
Laterano has already made a decision, Sister Hildegard.
It was the first time I experienced a parting, Peg. It, wasn't a good feeling. I guess that was when my life started to go off the rails. It's like those popcorn movies, you know? The Chainsaw Guy series or the Bridges of Michaelion. First Gia, then you, then my finest student. I excelled her from Laterano personally. I worry too about Thea.
What, you're worried that your dear granddaughter might run away and you'll die alone?
You all had your issues. I tried to do something, but never actually helped anyone.
Did you really try? Or are you just lying to yourself to feel better?
Maybe both. But here's something you got wrong. I support the idea of halos for everyone, not only because I want to protect the order and purity of the holy city. You're making Laterano sound awfully racist by putting it this way. A Laterano where everyone shares the halo will truly become one and all. Will be able to solve the unimaginable calamity that threatens all of Terra. It will also solve all the other problems we've been having, including... anyway, I think that's enough sharing for now.
Dio gratias. Thank God it's over. Hearing all that garbage from you again is making me sick to my stomach.
Go on in, Peg.
And if I say no, I don't want that light show you've got on your head, and I've got no interest in studying your honorable motives. Paganini levels his gun at the gun knight.
Just give it a minute.
What do you mean?
You're a genius gunsmith, Peg, but you're a Liberi. You can't use the guns you make. They're just your calling cards. If you're really that furious with me, even until the ceremony, then you can put a bullet in me. Once you have a halo, you'll be able to use it.
Paganini smashes the gun against the gun knight's armor. Pieces fly in all directions. and the broken gunstock makes a dull thud as it hits the ground in the distance, echoing throughout the corridor.
Go on in back.
Legatus Mostima, Overseer Fiametta. Your contribution to Laterano is much appreciated. Now kindly come this way. Do the nurseries already fill to the brim? The ceremony is about to begin. The matriarch will first enlighten the liberi, who have lived in Laterano for many years. Then the broken halos and wings of the fallen angels will be repaired. Quickly now, I will lead the way. Huh. Come in.
Cardinal Lemuel?
I'm afraid you'll have to find another way to address me now. And I was under the impression that the Curia wasn't letting anyone visit me. Isn't that right?
I put in a report. I was only just created. It's only natural that I would seek my predecessor's advice.
You've adapted quickly, Cardinal Amos. I thought you said you didn't really have aspirations.
Senora, I didn't come to gloat. Our relationship was never cloak and dagger, was it?
Sorry. But if you came to ask about Lemuel, I've already said this many times. I have no idea where she is.
It's something else that I want to ask about. Did you sacrifice your career only to protect your sister? Or did you truly believe what she said? From the Nativity to the Summit of Nations, something doesn't seem right about all that has been happening in Laterano lately. It's like we've come down with a sort of illness.
They're the same thing to me.
There's something I want you to see. Amos turns his terminal on and hands it to Lemuel.
What's this?
Application to join the Legati. I wanted to be a Legatus and get assigned to Bolivar.
You want to leave Laterano? Why?
My wife and I, we had a big fight and I left. When I came back, she had gone on a mission, dealing with Sarka's raiders, attacking caravans in the wilderness near Kasdal. She's always been like that, never listened to people. It was winter, I figured she wouldn't be back until spring. I was thinking about doing something to make up for my leaving. You know the rest about what happened to her. Fallen, exiled, etc. It was convenient that the 7th Tribunal was responsible for national security and foreign relations. It took a long time, but I finally found out where she went. I thought,
I understand. What do you mean, though, when you said something didn't feel right?
The selection standards for Legati are extremely high. A man of my ability didn't really have much hope, so the application sat in my draft box for a long time, until,
You approved your own application when you were created Cardinal of the 7th Tribunal?
Yes. Reverend Patrician said all I needed was an opportunity when he informed me of my imminent creation. I'm sure he meant something else, but this is all I could think of. However, the moment I approved the application, it just vanished. No notice of rejection, no record to be found anywhere. It just disappeared from my terminal, like it never existed. There was no way the application would have gone through. I would not be allowed to resign my cardinalate and become a legato so quickly. Besides, all the legati have been recalled to Laterano. I wouldn't be able to go and see Aurela, even if I really did become one. For me, approving the application wasn't even about making up for anything. It was just a small, insignificant comfort. Who would want to wipe away such a small comfort? For me, that was enough to make me question if this Laterano is real. Maybe, your sister was right.
Have you told anyone else?
No, I couldn't sleep last night. You were the only one I could think to talk about this.
This isn't some newfangled interrogation technique, is it, Cardinal Amos?
You can trust me, Senor Lemon. We both have things that truly matter to us. Few things.
An interesting point, Senor Amos.
By the way, there's an even bigger nativity scheduled at the Shrine of Nurtury today. We prepare for death all our lives. Even in a place like Rocamera, where everything is washed out by tides of plague and famine, an old man may lick his parched lips and say something to the effect, before his eyes close forever. Words as old as time, as they say. To some they are an eulogy to wishes unfulfilled, to others an utterance free of regret. There is a common premise between the two. Death is the conclusion to life. The arbor beast looks up in confusion and flaps its wings anxiously. Indeed, child, your mother will answer no more. She has died. The mother has breathed her last. Anduin gently closes her eyes. The fledgling leans over. He is trembling. Even the sheen on his hide darkened. Anduin places him on his own knee and looks into his eyes. The fledgling's voice is mumbled. Anduin does not speak the language of beasts, but he can feel sorrow, like a current running beneath the calm surface, the fledgling's and his own. Death is accompanied by new birth. When your mother knew that her own life was beyond saving, she chose to leave the hope of life to you. She used her last strength and succeeded. This is your first lesson. Rocamera, the town with the clock tower, the abbey in the wilderness, and now I've experienced many such moments, and now I have another. Each experience brings deeper insight. All walk toward the inevitable end. That is why the continuity of meaning is so precious. Death is a parting, a gift from the departed to the living, the beginning of the living's own salvation. Do not fear, child. Lament and remember. I will do so with you.
I will stay outside and leave her funeral to you, Anduin.
What of the matriarch?
She is indisposed, preparing for the nativity to bestow halos upon all of the non-Sankta here. She sends her apologies.
No matter. We have grown accustomed to welcoming new life with ceremony, while funerals are always simple. Tell the matriarch that it will be a little while before I return to duty.
Are you alright?
The mother's passing was sudden. The child is young and unaccustomed to such sorrow. I must stay by his side.
No, it's you the matriarch is worried for.
What do you mean?
Matriarch said she and you had been with his mother for a long time. She understands the sorrow in your heart. You are a thinker. Every journey gives you inspiration, but also fatigue. As for the child, he is a miracle. He has the strength to emerge from darkness. The matriarch wishes me to tell you that no new life in Laterano will ever succumb to calamity nor sorrow. They will be born equal, they will be brave, and they will be strong. Laterano will see to it.
Anduin feels the fledgling arbor beast push against his arm. He wants to calm him down, but the fledgling pushes his hand away and spreads his wings. The fledgling takes flight, landing on a comfort bell in the middle of the room, making a pleasant sound. Anduin watches in confusion. He has worn a halo for decades, yet his eyes still struggle to adjust to the fledgling's dazzling light. The arbor beast flaps its wings forcefully and lets out a loud cry. He has been with the fledgling day and night. He knows what these movements mean. The fledgling is inviting him to play. The nurturer, who can never turn down a child, stands stunned. He wants to communicate his sorrow, decline this incomprehensible invitation in the most tactful way possible. But eventually he steps up and takes the young arbor beast's claw, dancing a waltz in the middle of the empty room along to the comfort bells. The arbor beast's excited cries echo throughout the room. His feathers shine bright under the halo, showing its sheen unreservedly in the spinning circles. Their steps grow quicker, and Anduin looks toward the body of the deceased mother, trying to ascertain his own emotions. Then he realizes with a start. He is no longer sad. He is joyful as the fledgling. He is beautiful as the fledgling. He sings and dances for the future with a heart full of hope, just like the fledgling. Their spinning steps draw beautiful circles on the ground and in the air. Is this what Sankta means? Only the instinct to avoid pain, but no right to sorrow and mourning? Is this the Sankta? Is this the miracle of life? Nobody answers his hysterical call. His matriarch is bestowing halo after halo upon the people in the Hall of Enlightenment. He alone stops in his tracks. He recalls a funeral, one that should not exist in his memory. A field of irises, a child, cruel but sincere confessions and prayers, ringing of bells. Still no answer? Hey, Aurela?
You didn't believe me? You listen for yourself.
Ow! The sound hurts my ears. It's just noise. I can't make out anything. What's going on, Aurela?
You're asking me?
You're a gun knight. Or at least, you know more about these things than we do.
You said it yourself. I was a gun knight. The static is bad enough. You wanna add to the noise? And I know plenty of ways to shut you up.
Sister, don't be afraid, Hugo. Please, Aurela, the children are watching. These Sankta have come a long way after a terrible ordeal that left them with broken halos and a heart full of fear, with no comfort in sight.
The intercity net of Laterano has always been very stable, with dedicated personnel performing regular maintenance on communications equipment located in settlements outside the city. This emergency communication post is only 3 kilometers from the Lateran city. If any of them is still working, this would be it. But I've sent a dozen hails through the special channel with no response. Is Laterano really done for?
Could you try a few more times, Aurela?
You look even more nervous than them.
Do I?
Duenna does not say more. A few children come over and grab the hem of her dress, staring forward with her. The white walls of Laterano are already visible from this settlement, impeccable as the clouds. It looks like the abode of a holy spirit who accidentally ventured into the mortal realm, a miracle that should not exist. The pilgrims are but a stone's throw away. Dusty and tired, their broken halos and wings seem even darker in this wilderness. The pilgrims have reached the end of their journey, but this is truly the end of their suffering.
That's it. Laterano.
Looks like the people in there can hardly even fend for themselves at this point. Get your things, we're going in.
You're right, we can't wait here forever. Let's go!
But if we enter the city without the Curia's permission...
Tell me, did we fallen sinners ever ask the Curia for permission when we decided to return? Don't tell me you came back to repay Laterano's kindness. I'll put you first against the wall.
Stop. You must not enter Laterano.
Look who we got here. A Arturia Hall executor.
Are you Arella?
You know who I am?
I looked you up in the Arturia Hall database after receiving your message. Arella, former citizen ID LC0073458, former captain of the 3rd Arknights. You were tasked to escort a Lateran caravan through the northern wilderness in the winter of 1090, when you engaged a group of Sarka's mercenaries in combat. You completed your mission, but the nomadic abbey encountered a small-scale catastrophe on your way back. The Sarka's prisoners attempted an insurrection and were executed on the spot, by you. When a fellow gun knight attempted to record the events truthfully in a mission report, you threatened your cohort with a gun in order to hide your excessive use of force. In the chaos that ensued, you killed your cohort, resulting in you being stripped of citizenship and exiled from Laterano for life.
And what of it, Senior Executor? Are you trying to remind me that Laterano will never forget my sins? Look at the hundreds of people here. Some are fallen angels who were exiled like me. Some are Erari who left the Holy City for different reasons. Some of them have never even seen the Holy City, growing up in a cesspit like Bolivar, yet still believe in the tenets of Laterano. Have we not seen their halos? Are they fallen, or are they sick? They've crossed mountains and rivers to come here for an explanation for any comfort they can find. And all that Lateran does is send a single executor to stop us from entering?
More and more Erari Sankta gather, surrounding Federico, pointing their weapons at him.
You'll keep us out because we left Laterano for too long and forgot how to live like other Sankta?
The law punishes sinners, but what sin did I commit when all I did was live 20 honest years in LEITHANIEN?
If the law is that cruel, then it's not us who should be punished, it's you and your cohorts, tusk beasts of the law.
I fell because you punished an innocent man. You've never used your power for good. Federico watches the crowd quietly. The street lamps have lit at an inopportune time, casting eerie colors upon their faces. Fear, anxiety, anger, confusion, panic, all these emotions come together to twist their visages. Their hands tremble as they hold their weapons. The tension is palpable in the air. Federico is confident he can take out their leader quickly and suppress the rest by force, bringing the situation under control. He has always done so. It has always worked. Federico is an outstanding executor. He has been with the Arturia Hall for 8 years. He knows what he is doing. This is his 3rd year as a saint. Other than a burnt flower and a few chance acquaintances, there is no one to guide him or instruct him. Slowly he moves his hand away from the gun at his belt, making sure the tense crowd sees it, while his eyes never leave them. I did not come to repeat the judgment that Laterano once passed upon you. I am not here as a representative of the Arturia Hall, the Curia, nor any other official Lateran organ. The reason you must not enter Laterano is because the city is currently affected by anomalies beyond comprehension. Your presence may cause the situation to further deteriorate. I will explain, but I need time. Arturia, You should not leave the holy city.
Don't worry, I met the doctor, and I am here on the doctor's instructions. The doctor's discovery confirms our hypothesis. All of Laterano is caught up in some kind of dream, but the anomalies in the dream are being reflected in reality. A calamity has descended on the entire city.
Like the Kargerreich invasion of Zwillingstürme, after the disintegration of the Witch King's pavilion.
Maybe. I don't fully understand it myself, but there is no doubt that millions of Laterans are being caught in a struggle between reality and illusion, and we need help.
The Violators and Erari.
A chance dissonance is often the beginning of an interesting variation.
I concur with the doctor. However, if the calamity has engulfed all of Laterano, they're unlikely to enter the dream the moment they enter the city.
That's why I came looking for you, and I brought my cello.
So yeah, once more, you are getting a halo you want or not. No one is gonna be asking you, do you want it? No, they're gonna tell you you are getting it. But yeah, also very funny and very ironic that Patrizio is the one who brings up the whole thing of, are you calling us racist? Yes, my dear. Yes, the way you're approaching this and how every single one of the races is being segregated into their own rooms and everything. Yes, the term really applies to you right now, to you and the rest of the Sankta. At least the Sankta that are, or whatever those beings are that are in the Shrine of Nurtury, right? Good lord. By the way, a thing that I was meant to bring up after this stage is, and this is pretty much where it kind of started to click in a bit more, is it just me, or is Patricion reminding you of Patriot to some degree? Like, throughout the story, there were many little moments where Patricion was trying to kind of like maybe act out of line and do something else beside the fact that or rather what he's being ordered to, but decides to follow rules regardless, and keeps on pushing the whole agenda of uniting the world with bestowing everybody a halo, like it is being pretty much preached by the matriarch, but also seems to sometimes kind of wanting to veer away from the whole thing, but reels himself back in, which again gets very easily explained away because of how his life has been so far. I mean, the guy, literally the first day in his position as a gun knight, had to exile a dear colleague and more people down the line, so he definitely carries some baggage that is definitely influencing him, and for him, probably, from his perspective, uniting everybody with a halo just means that these problems would go away. If everybody, again, it's a novel idea. If everybody gets the halo, you know, and everybody is under the strict rule of, hey, if you injure the other Sankta, you will be in a bit of a doo-doo situation and very exiled from everybody else. You know, you leave the collective essentially. But yeah, it's not the best solution. Again, it's not a solution to problems. No, absolutely no. But yeah, because of how he's acting and how he is and how he feels, or at least how he feels to me, like he's being put into a position where he can't really do anything, because it just looks like he's gonna cause more problems if he goes against the rules. Kind of again reminds me of Patriot, because he had also quite the tumultuous life, quite more than Patrizio, I would say. But in a very similar regard, he also was kind of stuck in a position and didn't wanna break from it anymore because of his past experiences and everything. But yeah, again, might just be me, but I am kind of seeing some parallels between him and Patriot to some degree. But outside of that, we got a couple of other things on this stage. Federico making contact with Aurela and the Erari and Nuera as well. And approaching the situation from a diplomatic view, instead of once guns were pointed at him to go guns blazing and knock everybody the hell out and take out Aurela, as portrayed in the scene. He chose to approach the whole situation from a diplomacy point of view. That is progress, because the guy definitely will, if pushed into a corner, at least in the past, he will definitely go for action instead of the yapping. So that is definitely a change in the character, a much welcome change. And yeah, Arturia obviously coming then to support him as well with orders from the doctor on top of it is welcome for that scene. But yeah, stuff is happening, and we shall see in a moment how it continues. But first, we have a new enemy here, which will never. Fuck's sake. I can't with this guy. Anyway, Flippers of the Sankta, haloed aquatic creature that the law has determined to be Sankta. They love desserts, and the way they slap their bellies after a full meal looks like they are praying. I can't with seals. A seal that is praying and has this solemn and holy expression on their face. I can't. This thing is killing me. It killed me the first time it appeared in one of the cutscenes. It's killing me even now. Anyway, we continue on with our final scene for today. On stage number 8, titled Pilgrimage. The first saint returns to the holy city. The term Sankta is redefined.
Are you here, Doctor? Squeeze in a bit so this is our cart in front. Finally a chance to catch my breath.
Thanks for going through all that. Whose dessert card is this?
You must be here for the ceremony, Signora. Would you like to try my ice cream?
Before Monster can even refuse, the little girl gleefully shoves a cup of ice cream into her hands.
It's not a flavor you can get anywhere else in Laterano. I can take her out. Nobody would notice.
As Monster gives you this paranoid suggestion, she plops a spoonful of ice cream into her mouth without thinking about it.
Wow, that's really good.
Could you tell me your name, kid?
It's got my answer for me, Confessor. Da-da-dee-dee-da. I'm called Idida. You named yourself after the desserts cart music? Don't be silly. A customized it to sound like my name.
Did you know those guards, Idida? And aren't you scared of this lady?
Wow, I've never heard a confessioner speak like that before. It's the latest model.
Looks like she's buying that explanation.
Were you helping cover for us just now, Idida? Yep, because all of Laterano needs to change. That's what you think too, right? Was I just imagining things? You were the first person to say my sugar-free carbonated water-flavored ice cream was tasty, Signora. Well, that explains why it's so refreshing. My mind thought I were right. This is a rocky road I walk, but I finally found a little bit of success. Mind explaining a bit more? Desserts connect every Lateran, but if you eat too much sugar, not only are you gonna get bad teeth, even your halo will start getting cavities. That as a dentist, every time he says that, people think he's just trying to get more business for his clinic. But right now my halo, kinda feels like the rotten tooth I just lost. It's making me feel not so good. I believe it's the Lord giving me a revelation. So I'm gonna practice what I preach. I'll change Laterano's eating habits and rebuild our connections with the power of sugar-free ice cream.
That's a grand dream you got there, Idida. Would you support this young citizen's vision, madam?
mind if we take a walk together? I'd like to hear more about this, connection between halos and tooth decay. Okay! We should be able to avoid the guys chasing us with this kid around. We need to get in touch with Excusii ASAP, Doctor.
I'm trying.
Hey there, leader. Sounds like you were able to loosen that comms control thingy since we were having a long-distance call and all.
It's not entirely a good thing, Excusii. This means everything in the dream is collapsing faster, and the calamity in reality is getting worse.
Yeah, I figured as much. The way you explained it, leader, this big, ugly building really is poking up out of Laterano streets, but it's spewing out hail of monsters to chase people around? Sounds like reality is a lot scarier than the dream.
What you said is what I saw, Excusii. But some people are starting to awaken. These variables in reality are making the dream skip some steps.
Man, this is way too complicated for me. Just tell me, what's the worst thing that might happen?
Laterano might stop existing entirely.
Yeah, that's a really big deal. Well, no matter the situation, I can still find the jerk behind all this and free everyone from fake Laterano, right?
We are limited to keeping you clear-headed and free to move around. The restrictions Monster are under haven't been lifted yet, and we are still looking into other leads.
Got it. Leave Laterano's troubles to a Lateran like me. Oops, gotta keep my voice down. The Grand Nativity is about to start, and it wasn't easy finding a chance to sneak in.
Monster and I will keep tearing up the streets to keep the eyes off of you.
Say, how did the two of us meet again? One of Sora's releases? Texas' birthday party? But then Penguin Logistics crashed into the Lumen office while cracking down on the Bloodhammer gang? Oh, or was it that time I was planning on stealing a few sick old racing beasts when I ran into you on your way to buy their freedom?
We definitely met in Lungmen at least. I don't think it was any of those.
Must have been, 5 years ago now? Well, here's to yet another beautiful partnership, leader.
Likewise, Excusii. Stay safe.
Everyone is in position, Reverend Patrician. Next, we'll coordinate with the Shrine Patrol to clear the surrounding streets, lock down the intersections, and ensure nobody is wandering about. Gratios. Every gun night gathered together, ammunition allocations and fire restrictions are fully lifted. There's never been so big an event in the history of our order, has there? The nativity is of great significance to Laterano. The black snow on the ice of Sami, the hole in the sky above LEITHANIEN, even the raging tides that dash against the coast, are all in alignment with the true calamity that has been prophesied. Imagine how terrifying such a disaster would be. When that time comes, 200-odd gun knights taking to the field will be like a child throwing stones into the sea. I fear our holy city, which has stood tall for millennia, will fade away. The Pontifical Chorus and the Arturia Hall are still pursuing Lemuel and her co-conspirators. There is something else you must know. The nurturer who was guiding Mastermind Fiametta was just attacked. Would you like to go and check the scene, Reverend? Oh, no. My post is here.
The time has come. All our Liberi brethren, please go to the Hall of Enlightenment. The time has come. Over here, please. Once the other races have been bestowed their halos, the matriarch shall mend the broken halos and wings on all the fallen angels, so that we may all regain empathy with our people. It has begun, matriarch. I thank you all. You have forsaken nearly all rest since the establishment of the shrine. There have been many mishaps since the last nativity. We must advance our plans. This shrine's mission must be seen to completion as quickly as possible.
To this day, we have walked the same path, Matriarch. This is something we realized long ago. Oh, yes, there was one other thing on my mind. The day ceremony is all about bestowing halos on the non-Sankta rather than a birth. So why are we still using the name Nativity?
Is there a better term for it? The nurturers lead the peoples of various races into the Hall of Enlightenment, converging towards its center. The grand procession is like a herd of migratory beasts, yet none speak a word. There is only the rhythmic tinkling of countless comfort bells. As if in response, the matriarch lifts her head toward the crowd. Henceforth, all who are sheltered by the holy city shall share one destiny, and bind into a singular whole. Can this be called anything but the rebirth of Laterano? The crack of shattering glass cuts through the calming chimes of the comfort bells. A bullet from a sniper rifle. Its source is unknown, but it flies straight for the matriarch's sightless eyes. Blinding sunlight seeps in. Flashback.
That strange couple at the door. Looks like they're deciding where to go to dinner using a roulette wheel. Interesting idea, isn't it? So they're the ones who wish to adopt you. But why won't they come in and tell me that themselves? Oh, I get it. They don't want to put too much pressure on me.
No, why do you think that?
Because they are pretending to fiddle with their guns while actually looking our way.
Nothing ever gets past you, does it?
Yes, I reached out to them before they came here. Your parents were in that caravan raid, and the Arturia Hall's been trying to arrange things with a few families for the better part of a year now, but nobody's bitten yet. You are the strongest child I've ever met, N, but you've still got a long way to go, and we can't let a kid live all by herself. I know, Senora. I'm not annoyed or anything, it's just, if I'm going to accept the kindness of others, I'm going to have to be a good kid myself. It's really, really important.
Well, the long and short of it is, they wanted me to tell you that they really like you.
I also think they're really, can I have a week? No, 3 days. I'll think things over. Once I make a decision, I won't go back on it.
Is this the one that feels right for you?
Whoa, a sniper rifle. If it was me, I would never choose that one. No, when it's my turn in a few years, I'll pick lots and lots and lots of guns. Sounds good.
Well, I have to remind you that this fellow's been sitting here a few years now. Never been picked. Best think it over.
It's really quiet.
No, what I meant was, this sort of gun's different from the others. Truth be told, it's not very suited to you lively Sanktas. When you're on the battlefield, you won't get many chances to fire it. You'll have to make every shot count. Whether you're trying to protect something or destroy it, you'll need to have a sharper eye, a sharper mind, and take on more risks and costs. Because you can pull the trigger or let it go, but you can't afford to hesitate.
Today is Lemuen's birthday. Today she chooses her patron firearm, giving even more meaning to this already extremely important day to the Sankta. The gunsmith speaks with all seriousness. Her mother and father behind her and all her friends are silent. Even the ever-vivacious Lemuel keeps her mouth closed like a good girl for once. Despite the silence, Lemon knows they are all looking right at her.
This is the one, Master Peg. Please guide me through selecting the other parts. Nice! You don't need to worry about it not having the chance to fire, Master Peg. You could smack people really hard with a gun this big, and my scissor is super strong.
Through the spiritual light, even the darkest stain can be cleansed. With a pious heart, even a savage monster can wade out of the mud.
Put that down, Captain. I've got you in my sights. You're unstable. I can sense it. Calm down. That thing's affecting your mind. It's evoking your disappointment in Laterano. I know you submitted your resignation before we left, but even if you're determined to return to the wilderness, right now, you're still one of us. Think about the fried cheese we ate before we left, okay? Think about that foul beast head Fiammetta caught you, the soft and downy one.
My disappointment in Laterano? No. Far from it. He showed me how Laterano can save everyone.
None of us know if what you're seeing is the truth of reality or illusions and lies. Mostima will be here soon. She has a way to get that thing off you. We can start looking into its secrets afterwards, alright?
There is no afterwards. It's fading away. I must hold on to it. You know it's no illusion, Lemwen. It's clearly not lies. You saw those people locked in stasis outside of time, down in the underground palace. Those who do not die yet do not live. You heard what that mad Sarkas said to his shadow. The future shall have no secrets. So you should understand. What we found is the key to time itself. What I saw was a revelation. A future where even the most savage of monsters can be saved.
Your arts are running haywire, Anduin. That thing's eating away at you.
If that future exists, I must find the path that leads to it. I won't let go. I need to know more. Anduin keeps his grasp on the oddly shaped staff. Light condenses into solid form and engulfs the entire cave. I have a lot of chances to pull the trigger, Lemwen thinks. But amidst the chaotic, roiling waves of emotion, Lemwen finally finds the thread of rationality running through Anduin's mind. They have broken bread with one another. They have built bonds with one another. They understood one another, entrusted their lives to one another. Their empathetic link was stronger than any other. In that final moment, Lemwen confirms her friend has not been swept away in that unfathomable chaos. She loosens her finger on the trigger.
Damn it! Look out, Lemwen! Kepth, matriarch of the Shrine of Nurturing. Hit.
The rooftop wind whips wildly at the sniper's cheek. She does not blink. Her hand doesn't move in the slightest. She hears, she sees, she thinks, she judges. She doesn't have many chances to fire. She has to make every shot count. She can pull the trigger or let it go, but she can't afford to hesitate. Before that crucial moment, she and her gun do not speak. Lemwen is silent. She looks through her scope once more, double-checking what she sees in her sights. It is proof she pulled the trigger.
Compared to the ones in the vast lands, the statues oft seen in Laterano are the more incomprehensible, Cardinal. Paradise has shaped our faith, so peculiar that it has become somewhat distorted. The souls of a living praying for survival as they traverse catastrophe and suffering. Such is the most basic face of faith.
No, there's never a dull statue in Laterano. But life is faith-shaped. Gun-wielding saints towering over these streets do not represent disdain for calamity and suffering. we have simply chosen to take up a different mindset when confronting them. Through her scope, from far in the distance, Lemon can finally see that all these statues in the shrine, their heads bowed and their hands clasped, are facing only the pious matriarch as they pray.
Cap, if she really is a horrible monster, then it's unlikely a bullet will do any real damage. But at the very least, it'll let the people in the shrine see what's so unnatural about her and create an opportunity for you, Elle. The rest, I'll leave to you. Senor Amos?
Senor Lewen, my location has been compromised.
I'll come and back you up right away.
No need. The shrine patrol is already here, and the gun knights too. There's a lot of it. I'll hold down the street corner. Get yourself out of the building before they surround the place.
What about you?
It's too late for me. They're started firing. Looks like our deduction was right. This cannot be a place just for birthing babies. Anyway, you take care of the target.
Yes, got her in one.
That's good. That's good. At least this way, I managed to save a few people. Stop a few things that needed to be stopped. Can't be useless forever now, can I? Well then. Well, go do what you need to do, Senora Lemuel. Actually, I got a question I want to ask you. Funny, it's only once you can't hear that I finally dare to ask it.
A glitch in the comms terminal must be keeping the line open, and so the man goes on at length, chattering into the microphone.
Lemuel hesitates for a moment, then chooses to be silent. Was I really that useless? Never thought about it before. Even though it took nearly all I had just to become a small-time investigator for the 7th Tribunal, I never got a promotion during my decade or so there. It seems as us Laterans never doubt ourselves on that front. In fact, we naturally have 100 million ways to keep ourselves happy and satisfied. I know someone who made sticks for lollipops. He takes several types of paper tape and twists them together into rainbow-colored sticks. Made nearly no money out of it. He did it simply because he knew children loved them. But ever since I found out Aurela had been banished from Laterano, and there was nothing I could do about it, I haven't been able to feel even a microsecond of satisfaction with myself. You're completely useless, Amos. That's all I can think. Like how you can never forget the taste of the very first terrible dessert you ever ate. I thought that maybe, with a few more years, I could use my seniority to on my way to the Legati and go on a trip to Bolivar. I couldn't save her in the name of Laterano. Not even I can forgive her for what she did. I just want to see her again and apologize for that argument we had. After so many long years of waiting, I finally got my chance, but it was all just a dream. A dream's fine too. If it's all a dream, then I don't have to worry about anything. Maybe getting shot here doesn't mean anything in reality. When I was younger, I got 5th place at the 7th Tribunal New Junior Shooting Competition, you know? I even met Aurela that day at the range. It's a shame we weren't able to save each other.
I'd say that, at the very least, you're a great investigator, Amos.
Oh, you were still on the line, Lemuel.
It's time to wake up.
Is the funeral complete, Anduin? It is. The Hall of Enlightenment is this way. You seem to be going the wrong way. Am I? The nativity has begun, and the matriarch is waiting for you. Where are you planning to go right now? Your emotions are rather unstable. No, I've never felt more clear-headed. I'm not going the wrong way either. I asked that you accompany me to see the matriarch, Anduin.
Looks like we arrived right on time.
Mostima, Fiametta, you...
What? Am I supposed to be like the other liberi, pushed back into the herd by the guards, no matter how I protest? Or should I be really looking forward to seeing if my halo gets to be a square or a circle? Speaking of, I'm curious how they're going to mend the fallen angels' halos.
Mostima!
Sorry, got sidetracked. You owe us an explanation, Anduin. Gathering up all of the non-Sankta, forcing changes on their bodies, I thought this sort of stuff only happened in those shady Colombian tech companies full of mad scientists.
Is this what you meant when you said it was about the future? About the possibility for Laterano? Is this what the matriarch promised you? I have strayed from my path. That I cannot deny. Laterano wove a beautiful dream for us all. I was trapped too deep, and took too long to awaken.
Still talking nonsense even now?
The other guards will be here soon.
Damn it. Do you think we can get closer to the matriarch if we use him as a hostage, Mostima? Maybe. She does trust him a lot. It'd be a little worried if we left it all up to Al.
I can sense a multitude of emotions growing by the second. The number of people with empathy in the shrine is increasing. The nativity has begun. It's no use, even if you subdue the matriarch right now. We must go do what we still can. I'll think of what to do about this ceremony that should not exist. But it's likely to lead to great chaos. It should buy you the time to evacuate our people.
What's your plan?
Why do you think we'll trust you, Anduin? Seriously, a blabbling lunatic who already betrayed his friend once, saving everyone? You don't need to trust me. Pity will not save the people. I don't have that kind of power. All someone who has walked the wrong path of obsession can do is to save himself.
Wait, Anduin, take this.
A bomb.
Al gave it to us to draw the guards' attention. What if you really are going to stop the ceremony that shouldn't exist, like you said? You'll need it more than us.
Anduin walks past the pair, heading straight for the depths of the shrine. His steps are slow, but Fiametta makes no move to stop him.
You okay with letting him go? He's reliable when he sticks to a handful of words instead of a full-on parable. True. The situation's too damn weird. Not like we have any better options at the moment. There's a whole lot of people coming this way, probably chasing Anduin.
I'll buy him some breathing room. I'll get even with him after this is all over. The shrine's very first nursery. Once, with a heart full of hope, it was here he tended to an unfortunate mother, day after day. Now the child she left behind has clambered up onto a comfort bell, the sparkling droplets of water on his freshly washed wings reflecting the lamplight, just like a dream. The arbor beast does not mind his caretaker prior outburst. He calls out happily as always, inviting Anduin to play with him.
Insignificant travels and grandiose feats are but a hair's breadth from one another. You have labored for many years over this
grueling journey of yours, you should not let such a meaningless difference stay your step. I will need you to lift your spirits, for aside from caring for this mother and child, there are more deeds that must be done. An insignificant nurturer, a heaven-piercing shrine. The former could grit his teeth, harden his heart, and refuse the young beast's invitation, but this minor act of rebellion would do nothing to shake the foundations of the latter. I should be doing more. I must do more. But how do I shake the pillars of the shrine? How do I erase a miracle that has already occurred? The Shrine of Nurtury. This towering edifice was not built in a day. It began as a simple, ordinary nursery. Our nursery. Did we start with the blueprints of such an imposing shrine? No. We merely wished for a safe, comfortable room for the mother. And yet, its frenzied evolution led to what it is now. That is how a future where all are saved can sprout from our faith. This was the very first nursery in the Shrine of Nurtury. This was the starting point of this grandiose building. This is where you and I placed our faith. And so Kepth, I'll tear my faith apart. Anduin examines the bomb Massima gave him. It has been imaginatively cobbled together from all sorts of daily necessities, its face decorated with a bright splash of graffiti. He cannot remember what the girl who made this looked like. They might have met once or twice, they might never have met at all. He can only remember them when recounting her deeds countless times over. I was never alone as I sought a way through this trial of thorns, was I? Without the slightest hesitation, he lights the fuse. I understand that you are no longer sad and suffering, my child, but do you not sense danger, even as this room is about to explode? Or, are you simply uninterested in this as well? Does Laterano no longer need us to feel fear? The arbor beast flies down to the ground, rubbing against Anduin's trousers in confusion. If we cannot feel fondness, fear, or torment for all that life has to offer, how can we speak of revering it? I should have asked you this, my child. But it was I who brought you here. You could even say you were born in answer to my vision. This is our penance, a lesson for the both of us. Anduin bends over and cradles the arbor beast into his arms. That gunshot. I am so very glad to hear the sound of your gun, this time around, than when. Sparks bloom wildly across the nursery. A giant comfort bell clatters as it falls, its sonorous notes adding to the clamor. The explosion engulfs the room, devouring the graceful balance of light and shadow. Was this realm a dream? Or an obsession? Once you had a flock of brothers and sisters following behind you. They were rejected, harmed, insulted, desecrated. They named you guide and walked a long path with you. Yet here in this Laterano, which you believed equal and selfless, you forgot them. And so I ask, how should this community you long for be shaped? How should this holy city you yearn for be rebuilt? What path is it you walk, Anduin? To what answers does it lead? If this is a dream, then I shall wake. If this is obsession, then I shall shatter it. Let us only speak of redemption after that. The flames swallow the entire nursery, The other beast flaps his wings furiously. There is no fear in his eyes, as though he is simply dancing. Yet Anduin still covers his eyes out of habit. In this final moment, Anduin hears a bell, clear as day.
Are you alright, Matriarch? The ceremony has been interrupted. The entire shrine is shaking. And that explosion just now.
Is an evacuation underway?
Yes, there's a Liberi wearing a Pontifical Chorus uniform and a fallen angel leading our people to safety. Only half of the non-Sankta have successfully acquired halos. I will ask the patrol to have them reconvene right away.
Like the cracking of bamboo, the explosion reverberates out from the depths of the shrine. The peal of the bell from parts unknown drowns out the chimes of the comfort bells. Chaos reigns as countless people flock to the exit. The towering edifice sways as the blast wave finally reaches the Hall of Enlightenment.
Let them leave. Forcing them to stay will only harm them irreparably. The shrine is collapsing, Matriarch.
No, what is collapsing is not only the shrine, but also the answer we sought with it.
Gather the other nurturers. Everyone must leave at once. I will have the guards escort you out.
The matriarch steps down from the dais. The wind. Amidst the chaos, she hears the sound of the wind clearly from above her head, where there should only be praying statues and spotless stained glass.
Hey, hey, hey! Over here! You're not getting away that easily!
The matriarch lifts her head. She cannot see who is approaching her, but her voice has an infectious quality to it. Almost instinctively, she stretches out her arm.
I've been hanging on this window for 2 hours already! If you don't get off that stage, my arms are gonna fall off!
Excusii holds on tight to the matriarch. The world spins and the two of them tumble to the floor. What they fall onto is not solid ground, but rather some odd softness. It is like falling into fog, yet also like falling into water. Excusii senses a great force pushing her outwards, one that is definitely not just the explosion. Could this frail-looking woman really be that strong? She forces herself to open her eyes. She isn't sure when it happened, but the arm she's holding onto has become the jagged limbs of a beast. The matriarch's gentle face has disappeared under the water. They look at one another across the boundary between truth and lies. On her side of the line, the bell atop the Tower of Revelations rings, clear as can be.
I did figure you weren't as pretty as you looked early on, but my imagination never prepared me for this. Not even Ancient Forge had anything as crazy looking as you. Well, at least I don't have to worry about ripping your arm off. My friends had to bust their butts to give me this chance. So get out of there already. You have no right to hide away in a dream. You have no right to hide in our Laterano!
I can take her out. No questions asked. Licks ice cream.
Yummy!
What a silly creature. She's very fun to voice. From the whole back and forth between super serious and super goofy. Amazing. But also, more importantly, finally, the little Idida pops into the story that we've already seen in the workshop menu, in the main menu of this game, of this story. So she finally made her appearance, and interesting character, and also in design itself, so Blue Archive coded. Like, did they pull inspiration from Blue Archive, or did they get a Blue Archive artist to to design Idida? Because that just looks like she came right out of Blue Archive, which by the way, the whole conversation there at the beginning with Monster and her, that broke me absolutely. You will see that in the clips, but also I will leave you guys with a special clip in there as well. Enjoy that one. But yeah, very interesting stuff happening on this stage, very cool stuff, and a lot of background information as well. This cutscene was packed from start to finish, from the comedy bits at the beginning to the very, very serious and absolutely cool as hell stuff at the end. Another thing that we learn in this cutscene, a big thing rather that we learn, is about Lemoine, and that is that yeah, she's adopted. She's actually not blood related. I can't remember if this was brought up ever in the story so far. I might have forgotten if it was just mentioned loosely, but yeah, she is adopted by Excusiai's family, which is even more heartwarming and wholesome when you look at it from that perspective as to how strong the bond is between the two sisters, because they definitely have a super strong bond between each other, and that is amazing. That is amazing to look at. Plus, we got a bit of more backstory. Not really too much, but a bit more. We get to see a bit more of the scene that unfolded as Anduin was holding on to the lock and key essentially before Mostima came to stop him, because she was just a tad too late for that. But yeah, he got to see a vision. We already kind of knew about something like that, but here we see how crazy it made him in that moment, and Lemoine trying to stop him. Also getting described that, yeah, Lemoine and Anduin had, which is also very funny to look at, because I just literally described how strong the bond is between the two sisters, to actually hear that Anduin and Lemoine had a absolutely ridiculously strong bond between each other, or sorry, not bond, but empathy between each other. Like, their empathy was kind of being described of being on a almost another level compared to most other Sankta, which is honestly crazy to think about. But I guess it's a very rare phenomenon that two people are on the same wavelength with certain things. But yeah, we got a bit of backstory. We got to see how badass Lemoine can be with that sniper. Also the significance of it. We got to see baby Lemoine as well, which is honestly this recent thing that they are doing, not just here, but also in what was it, in Elegies. They also did show like baby versions of characters. Well, I couldn't call them babies, you know what I mean. Child versions of characters that are part of the story, which is quite a welcome thing. And I hope they keep doing that into the future when they like show operators or scenes of operators from their childhoods, and they actually double down on the whole thing and actually design kid versions of them, because not just seeing Exia already at the beginning of the story as a little bebe, but seeing Lemoine as well is absolutely adorable. But yeah, very interesting, and well, she sniped the matriarch and she survived the snipe. And then Exia comes in and pulls her ass into reality, which I cannot wait to see how the big bitch looks once she's dragged over, because seeing her being dragged through the thing and a second arm sprouting out there is ooh, I cannot wait to continue reading this. But this is where we're gonna be ending for today, because this is already a long part and took a long time to record. But yeah, anyway, next time we're gonna be finishing this story and seeing how it ends, and we're gonna have the usual, the discussion, boss battle stages, and then after that is gonna be a bonus part where we're gonna be covering the story from the workshop, the technician firearm menu, and a couple of other things. I was also thinking to add into the bonus, the bonus episode, the full files for Excusiai's alter version and Lemuel as well. Even though Lemuel, I will not have her on 200% to read everything in game, of course. That is quite the process to get to 200%. But I will probably do a read through both of her files in that bonus episode once we finish the story, because I'm curious as to how much extra information and like post-story information there's gonna be in both of their files. But that will be for the next 2 episodes in this series for the Master's Travels. For now, this will be it, like I said. So yeah, I'm off to edit this monster of an episode. So all I can say is thank you very much for watching and listening. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking the video. It would help out a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you want to support me more directly, the memberships on the channel are open, and as I always say, no video will be behind a membership, it's purely there for support, so thank you very much to all the members already doing so, much appreciated. And yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye. Whoa. What was this casual Exia just now, huh? Come back. Pews near the stage, statue and pool, apple pies of all kinds like everywhere as gifts for our audience. Alright. Damn, that looks so good. That looks so good. I like this casual shit. And this is never gonna be a skin, right? This casual one is never gonna be a skin. Alright.
Again. Now the left staircase. Blow it up and I can slow them down for a little longer.
Oh. Is she controlling it, or is she just working together with it? Okay, they're working together.
But this one starts with ELC.
Coming right up. Oh shit. Oh, that is a sick fucking picture, yes. Damn, son.
Confessor, wait, you've been exposed, so we can go back to normal, right?
It is the dog, okay. I love that she unloads the full platter leader, savior, doctor. Yes, okay, so not for my purposes, not entirely wrong to do a normal voice for the confessional. That kind of worked out. Okay, so interesting. They didn't let you choose text bubbles for the doctor here, considering that the doctor is the one speaking through the thing. Okay, that's cool. That's actually a cool bamboozle, because that would have given it away immediately if they would have done that. All right. And now they switch it. Okay, that was amazing. That was an amazing bamboozle. I love it. That's how you hide the fact that it's the dog. Nicely done. That's actually nicely done. Divine judgment. Rock and roll. She's just firing off her attack words. Oh, excuse me. Apple on there. Oh, come on. Don't be like that. You can't say all of your attack pattern words and not use apple pie. Look up ahead. Uh-huh. Wait, it just hit me. Wait, it just hit me. Didn't they earlier say that it might hurt the dog in reality? Is the dog inside of this thing in a compartment or something? I mean, there's a big box down below. Could be the engine though, but... What is this one horse monster power? What the fuck am I looking at? Oh wait, this just hit me. Oh, right. Well, I didn't know if there's gonna be any kind of big spoilers for chapter 15 in here. But depending on how this is going right now and who is currently present in Laterano, well, fuck it. I guess next episode I'm gonna have to, or this episode rather, I'm gonna have to start with, hey, have you read chapter 15? If not, homework. Oh no, we're going deep into this now. Oh god.
You're welcome. Though, it used to always be a...
Oh god, yeah, this is... Oh god, this is massive spoilers. Oh god, okay.
I can't use any of my skills here, and their comms control turned you into this.
Oh, it is actually the dock. The whole confessional is actually the dock, but transformed because of the dream. Oh, I can't use my skills here, and their comms control turned you into this. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I guess in this weird way. Okay, so I'm presuming then it is the law that is doing this, considering they're talking about some form of experiment going on right now. Huh. Okay. Is the law looking into if it can actually permanently change reality through a forceful method? That's wild. That thing is really panicking then.
Doctor! Open your door. There's a couple of donuts in there.
Jumps, I have to refill my energy. What? What is this silly creature doing? Oh god. Oh, never mind. What the fuck is there behind you? What the shit is that thing? Oh, it's one of the... Whoa, what the fuck? I mean, by the ears, I'm guessing it's one of the weird things that are guarding the nursery. But what the shit are the tentacles? The fuck? Wait, what? What is she carrying? The dog? Is she dragging the dog by the jacket with her claws? I thought for a second she wrapped her tail around the dog. Okay, alright. What the shit is this silly adventure right now?
Since when am I able to talk? I shouldn't.
Oh. 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 This talking is her dream. Right. Oh, so she never spoke. In reality, she actually never spoke. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, this is gonna be a rude awakening for a lot of people. I mean, Lemuel still can't properly walk. She can, from what we've seen so far, she can at least stand up and maybe make a step or two. Lemuel, I mean. And, I think I said Lemuel by mistake. Anyway, yeah, Vanini here was never able to actually talk. Huh. Who the fuck is this NPC now? This is way too unique. Huh?
But you tell me I won't truly become a Lateran until I have a halo. Do you mean to say that I wasn't a true Lateran for the past 20 years?
Damn, Hildegard. Damn. Nice speech. Nice. Oh shit. Federico, you might be in a pickle. Holy shit, they're not playing around. I still love I still love that her facial expression matches the smiley. For fuck's sake. Oh, this silly creature. Alright. What in the fuck? That was a very highly detailed dessert card. What the shit is that? Whose dessert card is this? Oh. My lord. What is this? This doesn't belong in here. I know it's a Sankta, but this design does not scream out. That's too much. You know, when I sit down to read Arknights stories, even if it's a Laterano story, I don't expect Blue Archive to look and stare and smile at me in the face. Oh, what is this? What is this little creature right now? Also, is it just me or do I hear in my head right now? Why is it the moment I see this, the first thing that pops into my head is literally...
Ice cream discount?
Report your ass to the police, Deska.
It's not a flavor you can get anywhere else in Laterano.
Monster? No. Sit, place. I can take her out, nobody would notice. What the fuck? Calm down. As Monster gives you this paranoid suggestion, she plops a spoonful of ice cream into her mouth without thinking about it. What is this? Now this right now, this is a Sankta story. This is how Laterano should be. Absolute nonsense.
You're the first person to say my sugar-free carbonated...
Sugar-free carbonated water flavored ice cream was tasty, senora. Sugar-free. No wonder the girl... Even in normal times, I don't think the Sankta will buy that. They need all the sugar they can get.
But if you eat too much sugar, not only are you gonna get bad teeth, even your halo will start getting cavities.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Is that a thing they tell the children? The first is right, but the second...
That strange couple at the door. Looks like they're deciding where to go to dinner using a roulette wheel. Interesting idea, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So they're the ones who wish to adopt you.
Ah. Oh. 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 She's adopted? Oh, really?
Is this the one that feels right to you?
Baby Lemon. Okay, so we get child versions of both of them. Damn. Whoa. Holy shit, buddy. Cool guys do not look at explosions. Holy hell. Oh my fuck. Did she just... Oh, she's... Oh. Oh my god, a second arm, what the fuck am I looking at? Okay, so she is definitely some weird fucking creature. Alright. Alright. She yoinked her by the arm and is dragging her through the crack in reality. The right side is the actual Laterano, the left is the dream. I love this depiction here. That is cool. What the fuck? What the fuck?
I didn't figure you weren't as pretty as you looked early on, but my imagination never prepared me for this. Not even Ancient Forge had anything as crazy looking as you.
Ancient Forge. Okay. Ancient Forge already happened. The very first Sui story. So they finished filming the movie that was directed and written by Neon and Lava. That weird monstrosity of a movie that teased the entire Sui storyline. Holy shit. That is a reference.